get nasty on a Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. Appreciate everybody tuned in today. 202 Your Time Check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We start the show off with some bad news for our Blues, or maybe some potentially bad news.
The show off with your horrible music tape.
Hold on. Let's go with the Blues. We'll get to it at some point.
Hang on, Marshy's a producer. It's his call.
We got to go Blues.
We'll get to this terrible take that you had.
It's not terrible.
We'll get to that. We just got to tease it a little bit for the listeners.
Here's the tease.
I have nothing to do with Dave Matthews.
I have it might as well be.
Oh my!
I have evidence that the Bills will get. I won't say they're going to get punked in Kansas City on Sunday. I just heard something within the last couple of hours.
More to follow.
I've got evidence that the Chiefs are going to win on Sunday. I have reason to believe Chiefs are going to win on Sunday.
Such a donkey. God, I love you.
Jeremy Rutherford on Twitter, and JR will join us here in the next 15 minutes. He said that Philip Broberg, just went down in practice. This is from earlier this morning. Just went down in practice. Looked like no weight on his right leg as he was helped off. Per Jim Montgomery, Broberg getting evaluated. We'll have more info tomorrow.
Doesn't feel good.
I don't like that.
It's not great.
Anthony, why are you the bearer of bad news today?
Well, I don't know if I'm the bearer of the bad news. I just opened the show, and I could have just tossed it right to you. What do we need to know about the Blues? But I didn't want that for you, Jamie.
Well, who on this show? Who is the one who brought it up on the air?
Marsh.
I texted the group chat this morning, and we were like, "Oh no!" And fast lane, and
we had all voted not to talk about it.
Oh,
and then you just said no.
Well, it's his show, and he's actually right this time. It is his show, but he's right this time.
About what?
About leading off with this news. It's the most important news going on.
That's a crab sandwich.
huge crab sandwich.
That's a crab sandwich. It's open face, but that's a crab sandwich.
Take 2 bites.
I don't want to.
You're right. That's the most important thing is the second thing you say, because that's the part that stays in your mind. You're right.
You're right. Hey, I'm right. All right. Now, this is obvious. This is potentially, and we'll just continue to use the word potential. This is potentially devastating news for the Blues if he's out for an extended period of time.
Yes, it is.
I mean, they can ill afford to lose a player like Philip Broberg.
Yeah.
It is all hands on deck. This is not a team. While they do have depth, they don't have the depth that will also allow them to overcome what they're doing right now on the ice, which is just kind of, they've been inconsistent. They've been up and down. It's not like they're up several points on every team in their conference, and they can, an injury would be devastating, but they could overcome it. I mean, this is, they need all of their players, especially somebody like Philip Broberg, who has had a massive impact on this team this season.
So, a couple things. We'll see what they say tomorrow. It certainly doesn't ever feel very good when they say, well, we'll reevaluate and we'll let you know tomorrow. That's not usually a great sign, but you know what? We're going to use the power of positive thinking, and hopefully it's just a tweak of some kind, and maybe he misses 2 or 3 games, and we're fine. I will say this. If he has to miss an extended period of time, it will suck. Now, you also do realize that Ryan Suter is totally capable of playing up your lineup. So, not that he replaces Broberg. He will play in that spot as Broberg. You can jump Falk up to that top 4 again. You've got Fowler, Parayko, Suter, and Falk. Not what you just had with Broberg and all that stuff. And you'd have Tucker, Perunovich, or Tucker Kessel. You never know when a recall might happen. It happens, okay? So you're still solid. Nick Leddy's on the mend. Hopefully, in a week's time from now, he has another checkup with the doctor. Maybe if things go well, he's back into full contact. He's kept himself in great shape in the meantime. That would be a pretty quick recovery. You have the 4 Nations break coming up as well. You just have to, as crazy as it, you just have to battle around 500, just above that, to get to that dang break.
Yeah.
In fact, no problem. Should be easy. If you do, then that break, obviously that's 2 weeks' time that will be eaten up of any injury to any player. So cue the comeback of Leddy maybe full-time, Broberg full-time. Now you're stocked. The key is getting to that point. But I will say this. Let's do this. Let's play a game. Okay, guys? You like games, right, Anthony?
Yeah, I do.
What's your favorite party game?
Let's see here.
You like the beer?
Oh, I do love beer pong. Yeah.
Beer
I haven't
pong?
played in a long time, but I love beer pong.
Do you guys like the one where the string has a little washer on it, and you got to swing it and hook it on the thing?
I love that game.
I don't think I've ever played that.
They have a big version and a mini version.
Yeah.
Oh, where you have to throw it?
Yeah. There's another one.
Yeah, I've played that.
There's another one where you take the little the cup holder for your window. You need a little cup, and you clip it on your belt, and you have a string with a tennis ball or a golf ball rather.
Oh no!
And you gotta thrust your hips and swing the ball up into the cup.
That doesn't sound like a great game.
It's great.
Sounds like
I've never heard of that one.
It's more challenging with clothes on. However, my point of this game today is
Seems like good exercise.
out of the wild card teams. So there's, let's just say 1, 2. Don't look. Don't look.
Looking.
I'm watching your mouse move.
I'm looking at the schedule. Sir.
One.
Carey.
Get off the standings.
The schedule. I'm looking at the schedule.
He becomes a Dodgers fan. All of a sudden, he
1, 2,
he wants
3,
things
4,
loaded for him.
5, 6.
Clearly.
There's 6 teams-ish in the wild card. Seattle's a stretch at 45, but it's only 2 points behind Utah. So I'm like, yeah.
Playoff picture.
Playoff picture. Okay? Out of the 6 teams, who currently in the last 10 games has the best record? Now, there's Colorado, Calgary, Vancouver, Blues, Utah, Seattle. Who has the last 10 games?
Vancouver.
Okay?
Okay, I like that answer. We just beat Calgary. Utah beat Utah. It's just a trick question. It's probably going to be. I go with Utah
Okay.
or the.
If it's not the Colorado Avalanche, who have been, in my opinion, every time I watch them come on screen, they're dominating faces. I would say it's your St. Louis Blues.
It's the Blues, baby.
Oh, who saw that game?
6-4 in the last 10. Colorado 5-4-1.
It was the
Calgary
outlier.
5-5. Vancouver 3-5-2. Utah 4-5-1. Seattle 4-5-1. So, as much as we tend to critique the Blues because they're inconsistent and can't put a string together, out of the 6 teams battling for a wild card spot, in the last 10 games they've had the best record. So it's not as bad as we think sometimes. Now, you do have to string together some wins here because some of these teams have games in hand on you.
Yeah.
Only matters if they win. Last night, Vancouver had a game in hand on you. They lost to Buffalo.
Oh.
Who stinks.
Oof.
So that's a tough one for the Canucks to handle. But Philip Broberg, going back to the original thought here, that's a big injury. I shouldn't say that. That's a big loss. We don't know what the injury is yet, to be clear on that. Hopefully it's not anything to do with the knee he hurt earlier in the season. Hopefully it's just a tweak. But either way, if you can just stay afloat, if you can be 6-4 in the next 10 game, 20 game, and then you get Leddy and Broberg back at the same time, maybe Army makes a deal for a forward at the same time because you have all these prospects and draft picks. If you're just hanging around, you can make some noise at the end of this.
The Blues might be able to thrust their way into the playoffs, Anthony.
Yeah. Thrust that tennis ball into
It's a
that
golf ball into the little cup holder, and you
What happens when the ball doesn't get in the cup and it swings back?
Well, you got to keep going. Depends how hard you swing, Carey.
Yeah, I'll pass.
You got to time it up.
You do.
Nah.
You do.
don't
It's a
think-
fun game. The kids love it too.
I don't,
They
pass.
laugh. They do. They laugh.
I'll pass.
Because mom and dad are out there thrusting, and the kids are like, look at how dumb they look.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
No idea. That's how they're made.
I prefer like cornhole or bags, whatever you want to call
Who
it.
doesn't?
Maybe Beersby. You ever play Beersby?
I don't think
That's
so.
a great game.
Play bags.
Beersby. Oh, you would love this game.
You like frisbee?
So you get a PVC pipe, you stick it in the ground,
Oh, yeah.
and then you put a beer on top, and you
Throw
take
the
a
frisbee.
frisbee, and you have to throw it, and you either hit the bottle or you can hit the PVC pipe. But if the bottle falls, the other team's got to catch it.
Whoa,
if they
whoa, whoa.
catch it, I think they get their points back.
Question.
Is it a full
Yeah.
bottle?
I have a question.
Yeah. I
Is
mean,
it a full bottle of beer?
Because it sounds like a waste
No.
of bottle of
Okay.
beer.
Yeah,
No,
So it
it's an
sounds
empty
like-
bottle.
Otherwise, it'd be
we
broken.
No, empty bottle, but you should have one in your hand that is full.
Yeah, I played that before, and it wasn't for points. It was for like shots, like you're doing the beer game. So if you hit the bottle off, the entire team over there has to take a drink. If you hit the peg and the bottle falls off, you can then pick 2 or 1 of the people who are over there from that team and make them.
I like that rule.
That is a good rule.
I've never played that style.
That way, the drunker you get, the less math is involved. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
What's the score? I don't know. It
That's
doesn't
always
matter.
the worst.
See, no, you drink.
That's kind of like beer pong. Is like, all right, how many cups are left? That's it. That's all you have to worry about.
Yeah.
All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We'll continue our Philip Broberg conversation with Jeremy Rutherford, who did report the news that Broberg went down at practice with an injury. We'll get JR's thoughts on his perspective from this morning and find out if he knows anything more. Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues Insider, next on 101 ESPN.
for the Rutherford Report on 101 ESPN.
Anything you folks want to know about the fascinating world of pro hockey, here we go.
It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. Philip Broberg was injured today at practice, and joining us to talk about it, and was there, is our Blues insider, Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic, who joins us via the Collier and Thompson phone line. What's up, JR?
Not too much, boys. How you guys doing?
JR, first order of business is who did it? Who do we have to?
Good call.
Who do we have to talk to?
Yeah, it was tough to see, and usually I make a lot of excuses, so this is par for the course with me here. But Riv, it was in that spot where we're sitting in the lower bowl, and it happened right in front of us, behind the boards. So you kind of couldn't see. They were doing a drill. Broberg was to the right. He kind of came along the wall, and then all of a sudden you see him go down, go into the boards. Didn't look too hard. But then shortly after, athletic trainer Ray Brelly out. And here's what I can tell you. When he got up, it was the same situation as it was against Toronto when Mitch Marner landed on his leg, in terms of there was like no weight on that right leg. So right leg comes up. He's got guys at his shoulders, and they basically carried him down the hall there back to the room. And I can tell you this, too. When we got back to the locker room, let's say 15 minutes later, the rest of the team was kind of gathering to sing happy birthday to Ryan Suter. He turned 40 years old yesterday. Broberg, not part of that group, and at his locker stall was just his right skate. That was taken off, and you just assume that he's somewhere in uniform with that left skate on, getting x-rayed, MRI'd, whatever they have to do to get to the bottom of what's going on here. So no details yet, no severity. You guys mentioned Jim Montgomery said we'll know more tomorrow, but that's how it looked from my perspective.
If we don't want to speculate, but we're going to speculate. If he is out for an extended period of time, who would be the next person up? Is it Perunovich? And Jamie said, do they bring Kessel back up?
Yeah, I think both of those are probably options, depending on what they think about where Perunovich is. Obviously, Tucker is kind of taken over that spot in that third defensive pair, and so Tucker's going to stay in your lineup. And so if Broberg is out, Perunovich, or do they call Kessel back? It could be either one of those two. And, if Broberg's long-term, you probably got to call Kessel up anyway, and then you have the option of those two. But in terms of that second pair, today, again, they skated Suter and Broberg in the second pair. So if Broberg's out, you could see Falk come back into that second pair, or maybe even Tucker with the way he's played.
Jeremy Rutherford joining us right now on the Fast Line on 101 ESPN, covers the Blues for The Athletic. Jared, the next question, of course, is one that you would just be, you'd be projecting, really. But is there any outside, does this change Doug Armstrong's approach when it comes to looking outside the organization?
I don't think so at this point. I mean, obviously, he's got the latest at his fingertips. So if he finds out in the next hour or two that this is, God forbid, ACL or something that's going to be out for the season, out long term, then, yeah, I do think that he would probably consider it in terms of, maybe trying to go out and find somebody who can come in and bring some experience. Because obviously Tucker, Kessel, Perunovich, these guys are still a little bit raw. And I still believe that Doug looks at this team as a team that can make the playoffs. So, as we sit here answering the question right here, Anthony, I think that if that were the case, they might have to do something like that.
JR, Jim Montgomery switched up all the lines, and we talked about the benching and the unbenching and the mixing up of everything. I'm sure people had a chance to talk to Monty and just ask him overall, what are his thoughts following the Utah game, but certainly following the Vegas game with what he had put together as new lines.
Yeah, I think that, those comments really stuck out to me, Riv. I'm sure they did to you guys, too, in terms of, hey, why'd you break them up? Well, they didn't play well. That Utah game, so much emphasis on that game, and then your top line, your best players, don't play well. That was disappointing. So he broke them up in that game, and then he kept it that way in Vegas. But I got to tell you, he said that he really liked their 5-on-5 against Vegas, including in the third period when obviously everybody watched the game fall apart there with the 6-on-5. But he liked what he saw in that game. So, based on practice today, it was the same way. Buchnevich, third line. Thomas, he's your top line center, but we're calling it the second line right now. Probably doesn't matter too much, just with the way that line is going with Braden Finn, your top line. So in terms of what the practice lineup looked like today, we're going to still continue to see those guys split up heading into tomorrow's game against Vegas.
JR, you mentioned that this is potentially a playoff team. Most playoff teams find themselves a way to make a run throughout the season, 3, 4, 5 games, 6, whatever it is. Why do you think that this team has been unable to win more than 2 games in a row?
Because they can't beat the teams that they should beat to put a winning streak together. And I asked Jim Montgomery today at practice, we notice it. Do you notice that this team plays better against the good teams? And he said, yeah, it's true. The facts are the facts. And I know Vegas has been scuffling here lately, but they're still a great team, considered a Stanley Cup contender, and the Blues played a great game against them. So if you look, if they can beat a Utah in that game last Saturday, you're talking about the back-to-back impressive wins over Calgary, the win over Utah. Now you're coming home with a win over Vegas, too. I think people are a lot more excited. You just can't get excited when you continue to see this team lose to the Utahs. And you can't hardly throw Columbus in that batch anymore just because they're playing so well. But 2 games against Columbus in a week span, you got to win one of those games. That's why they can't put a streak together.
So, JR, should Blues fans be excited then? Because the next handful of games are Vegas, Dallas, Vancouver, Colorado. Should I keep going here? Because after that, we've got the Oilers, Utah again, Florida Panthers. I mean, there's some pretty tough teams. I feel a winning streak coming on.
Yeah, but then maybe an L to Chicago heading into the break, right?
I'd be willing to sacrifice that at this point. We get all the other ones. I mean, come on, JR.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think if you're a Blues fan, you probably look at this and say, bring it on. So, no, whatever it is, and maybe it's like that with other teams throughout the league. Maybe their fans are asking the same question, why can we beat the good teams, can't beat the lesser teams? But that's the way it's been around St. Louis the past couple of years. So, if you can play a game like you did against Vegas, say for the 6-on-5 there at the end, I think the Blues, I don't want to say like that schedule coming up, Riv, but I know where you're going with that.
Yeah, no, and in all seriousness, too, if you look around the league, every team goes through it with a lesser team. I mean, look, Vancouver last night fell to the Buffalo Sabres. The Chicago Blackhawks beat the Vegas Golden Knights the other, couple of nights ago. Every team deals with it because on any given night, some of these teams can play really well. And it stinks because it makes it look like, you can't beat the lesser teams. But some of those lesser teams are still figuring what the hell they are. And they lose 2 or 3 in a row, but then all of a sudden they all put it together for one game. And you're like, holy crap, what team was that? And so it is a little misleading sometimes.
No, you're exactly right. And I've found this, see if you guys agree. I found that hockey fans don't necessarily pay attention to a lot of the other teams around the league. It's kind of that, whatever you want to call it, territorial sport. You zero in on your team. Yeah, regional sport. Yeah, you if you're an NFL fan, you can probably tell us a few facts about. Anthony can tell us about the Falcons and the blown lead in the Super Bowl and things like that.
Come on, man.
You can tell us a few things about other teams in the league, but I guarantee you go in a lot of ranks and you say, hey, what happened to the Vancouver Canucks last night? There aren't too many people that are going to tell you they got beat by the Buffalo Sabres. So, I agree with you. Here's the thing is if you want to be a playoff team and that's what they obviously want to be, you just have to win those games. And Utah's got a good team, and they've had the Blues number and everything. But, Riff, so much riding on that game, so much momentum that could have been gained. And the way it was, you can lose that game 3-2 and come away feeling okay, like at least we gave a good effort. That was a bad start. Your top players didn't show up, yada, yada, yada. That was disappointing.
It was. I agree with that. And, JR, I don't know if you were listening before, just so to be completely honest if you were, because we played a little game here in the Fast Lane. Were you listening to our little game?
I was.
Okay.
Did Marcy tell you? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
Do tell us, Andrew. Come on in here. Welcome in, Andrew Marsh, please.
JR just had a story. We were talking about fun games and stuff, and there's just a story that was involved. Is it appropriate for radio? Maybe not. It's up for discussion.
So do that.
Do you feel it's appropriate or not?
You got to ask.
Oh, man. I don't know. So, all right. So how about this? I've had a good run here at 101 ESPN doing hits for about 13 years, so it might be over.
We're recording this, right? Okay. Go ahead, JR.
No, you're talking about games, when you have a few cocktails, right? And I just, this isn't a game, but it was a story that Kelly Chase told one time. And he said that, imagine, 15 Canadian guys in the basement partying, having fun, having a few beers, and one guy passes out, right? And so what they did was they went over and they undid his zipper and they grabbed one of those turkey legs and kind of put the turkey leg in the zipper area. And then they went ahead and let the dog downstairs.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that happens.
Oh, that's a terrible. That's awful.
That happens.
That's an awful thing to wake up to.
Dogs like sliced cheese, too, and you can tuck the cheese in there, and the dogs are attacking the guy, and he wakes up panic. It's terrible, guys.
Jeez.
It's terrible. No.
Is that suitable for air? I don't know.
You were talking about a different game.
I was talking about a different game. Did you hear our hockey game?
No, I didn't hear the hockey game. I
Okay.
heard the drinking. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to play a little game with you. I've got 6 teams: Seattle, Utah, St. Louis, Vancouver, Calgary, Colorado. I consider them in the playoff hunt. 2 of them with Calgary and Colorado already in. Out of those 6 teams, who do you think has the best record in the last 10 games?
You're going to tell me the St. Louis Blues.
I am going to tell you the Blues. 6-4. So
Yeah.
even though the Blues are inconsistent, it would tell me that all of these other teams, too, are also inconsistent, JR.
100%. Yeah, you're right. And that group has been, not playing very well. I think that's a great point, and I think that Blues fans and myself should be reminded of that. But I think at the same time, that if you had another win or two in that group, that you could be a couple points up in the wild card spot. So I'm not trying to take anything away from them. That record, hey, that's great. They're starting to play well under Monty, and they're in this thing. They legit are. You hope to keep Broberg on the ice, but it's just that win or two that they're should be able to get that they're not getting. That's separating from them from the streak, and it's separating them from being in the wild card spot right now.
Jared, good stuff. We appreciate you coming on, especially following the news about Philip Broberg, and hopefully the injury information that comes back tomorrow is all good. But as you noted, didn't look good this morning. We'll check back with you again soon.
All right, and don't pass out at Canadian parties.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
No. Yep, good call on that. It's just good advice overall.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
See ya. That's our guy, Jeremy Rutherford, at JP Rutherford on Twitter. If you want to give him a follow, I'm sure you're already following him. So we don't know. We probably won't know the extent of the injury to Philip Broberg until sometime tomorrow morning.
Or even later. Sometimes if there's MRIs involved and they have an X-ray and they have like a second round of MRIs, it could take a day or two before they actually know. And then they'll just tell us it's a lower body injury.
Yeah. Good call. Lower body injury. He's out indefinitely.
We'll reevaluate him here in
2 or 3 weeks. A little bit.
A couple days.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you know.
Right. What's trending is next in the Fast Line on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Earlier today, Philip Broberg went down in practice. Looked like no weight on the right leg as he was helped off the ice. According to Jim Montgomery, Broberg will be getting evaluated, and we'll have more information tomorrow. We just discussed that with our Blues insider from The Athletic, Jeremy Rutherford. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. The Blues will take on the Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow on home ice, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We have What's Trending coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Here's what's trending.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, yesterday we talked about the Lions offensive coordinator getting the head coaching job for the Chicago Bears. That is Ben Johnson. And the Jets have hired their defensive coordinator, the Lions defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, to be their next new head coach. What are your thoughts on the hiring? Is this a good spot for Aaron Glenn? I know we talked about it yesterday. Why would anyone want to go coach that team?
Yeah, seriously. I'll go first with Aaron Glenn because it's just my thoughts. You guys will have way better opinions on it. I think that's a tough one, man. Like, the Jets have a pretty good defense. They were supposed to anyways, especially under
Robert Saleh.
I want to call Sirianni. I know he's the other green team in Philly.
Yep.
Under Robert Saleh, a good defensive team. Obviously, it didn't go very well following the firing of Robert Saleh, but one would imagine that Aaron Glenn can get the defensive schemes back to where they should be. Mm-hmm. But you don't have a quarterback, and you don't have an offensive-minded head coach.
Yeah.
I know you could hire a great OC, but like, you have Aaron Rodgers on one leg basically, and you don't have anything else. I don't even know if you want Aaron Rodgers, and if not, what's your pivot? So I like that he's getting an opportunity. I just don't know if that's the best spot for Aaron Glenn, but what the hell do I know?
For me, I think it's, he's drafted there, first-round draft pick in 94.
So he started all this.
Well, he played there. Well, he didn't start this. It's
your fault.
He was well-liked.
He was. He played there for a number of years, and
it's
kind of coming full circle for him, an opportunity to be a head coach for the first time. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the opportunity. You just got to hire the right people for your staff. You got to hire the right coordinator. You got to find the right quarterback, because I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is that guy.
Who is that guy right now?
I don't know. But if you do decide to stay with Aaron Rodgers, you have to make it known that this is the way that we're doing things, how you have tried to do things in the past and has gotten a coach fired and led to 2 seasons, one not completely your fault because you tore your Achilles, but 2 seasons of, terrible football for the New York Jets. So if you are going to stick with Aaron Rodgers as a first-year head coach, you kind of have to you have to let the team know who is in charge and what we're doing and how we're going to go about it. If you do decide to move on from Aaron Rodgers and you're able to get someone in that first round, I don't know where are they picking. They're number 7, so might not be the quarterback that they're looking for. Still available unless you can move up. I don't know what he's doing. No, not him.
Derek Carr, is he available?
Oh, gosh. Sam Darnold will be.
Sam Darnold? He will be.
Kirky football.
Oh. Not paying that salary.
Well, no, but the Falcons will.
Will. There'll be a Steelers situation with Russ.
Good. I don't think the Jets need him. I would actually have a conversation with Sam Darnold.
Bring him back?
Drafted him. Bring him back. Showed he can play a little bit.
Get all the band back together.
Yeah.
Because it went well.
Not great. It's better than what it's going with Aaron Rodgers. So, again, Terry Glenn, Aaron Glenn, congratulations to him for this opportunity.
Glenn. Wide receiver?
Yeah.
Patriots?
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Ohio State?
Cowboys.
Cowboys, too.
He's Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yep.
Patriots. The Ohio State University.
your thoughts on the Ben Johnson hiring? Because I told you a little story about what he did today and whatnot. And
I think the Bears nailed it.
Yeah.
I think the Bears, given what was available right now, how could you do better than the hottest coordinator name? Doesn't have the experience yet, so we'll see what he does. But you had brought up the fact that he had brought in all of the Bears staff.
Everybody in the building.
Everybody in the building.
And told them that they're all a part of this.
Yeah. And at first he walked in, he goes, get back to work, like right away. Gotta laugh, ha, 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 ha. But he said, all seriousness, everybody's important. So he's saying all the right things. He also already has the quarterback. I don't know if Caleb Williams is going to pan out, but he's got the QB. Let's be real. Aaron Glenn is going to work or not work for the Jets if they get a quarterback. That's it. Zach Taylor has worked out in Cincinnati. Why? He's got Joe Burrow. Every head coach. Dan Quinn has worked out in Washington. Dan Quinn's the best. He's the man. Oh my! He's pulled everybody together. He pulled everybody together in Atlanta too. Also blew a Super Bowl 28-3 with a 28-3 lead. He has panned out. Was he in charge that night, or am I thinking of somebody else?
It's not Shanahan.
I love Shanahan.
It was Arthur Blank's fault for going onto the field too early.
I mean,
He always goes onto the field early.
come on.
Yeah, but
Did
he
you hear
didn't
the
have to wear
shot that Tom Brady took?
Of course I did.
He always goes on the field.
Tom
early.
Brady is much like Michael Jordan. He took that as a slight.
Right.
And it was like, really? And you know what, though? All things being equal, CD, if you were down there and you saw the opposing team's owner down there, like getting ready to celebrate, his buddies are down there, cigars are out.
Yeah,
he'd be
that's ridiculous.
You know what, mother truck?
Go back upstairs.
Win or lose,
Let us finish.
he's always on the field.
Yeah,
he's
but we get to
always
spin it
been
our
on the
way
field.
now.
He's done that right. Let's spin that narrative because Tom Brady said
Patriot way, Anthony.
I thought they came back
Love it.
because of those old ladies that went to the Super Bowl. There's a
that
documentary,
too.
80 for Brady.
Right.
Those old ladies came and gave him a pep
I saw
talk.
that documentary.
Anyways, Dan Quinn's worked out because Jaden Daniels has become a stud. So will Aaron Glenn work out in New York? Will he have a quarterback? Can he get the OC right? Can he get the quarterback? That's it.
Well
let's
said.
be real. I know it's the obvious thing, but
Oh, you're right. I'm giving you a compliment.
thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Jeez.
All right, Anthony.
Oh, wow, that's so hard to believe that you're giving me a compliment.
It's so hard to accept it, apparently.
Yeah, I wonder
See
why.
if you get another one.
I wonder why.
I highly doubt it after what I'm about to bring up.
There's a lot of things I understand now.
It's not you. It's
There are a lot of
childhood
things
stuff
I
for me.
understand now. Let's put it that way.
We've gone too long without bringing this back up.
Got
Anthony,
issues.
you're deflecting right now.
Yeah.
One of the worst music takes I've ever heard
Yes.
before the show started.
Marshy, you need to put a poll out on this.
I should.
You should.
I'll lose. I know I
Love
will. I'll
or
say
hate?
it anyways.
Love or hate Mr. Brightside by the Killers. Anthony, your thoughts.
So I was driving around today and I was listening to somebody on Sirius XM there, and they were talking, or Sirius Radio, and they were talking about how the Bills rally cry in the fourth quarter is that song by the Killers.
Don't act like you don't
Mr.
know.
Brightside.
Mr. Brightside. Don't
Everybody
do the whole,
knows the song.
Don't do the thing
No,
where you
I
act like
didn't
you
know-
don't know. That's just arrogant. Okay?
I know you just said it. I wanted to make sure I got the song title right. That's why I looked at you and said,
yeah.
okay.
Go ahead.
This will be the most unpopular take, I'm sure, on these airwaves. I hate that song. I find it to be incredibly annoying.
Why?
I don't like songs that kind of stay at that same pitch almost all throughout the entire song.
Or repeat the same things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It drives me. It drives
It
me
has
insane.
a good pace to it, though.
It drives me insane.
That is an absolute
There's
banger.
no up. Okay, so that host also called it a banger, which made me throw up. You cannot label that song a banger.
Anthony,
I don't
You
like
play
it.
that
I know
song-
I know a lot of people like it. I get it. I know a lot of people like it, including Jamie and Marsh, who said some really nasty things.
Yeah, I'll say
that
them
song
again.
to me, horrendous. And the Bills use it as a rallying cry. They too call it a banger. I have no doubt now, 0 doubt, 0.0 doubt that the Kansas City Chiefs will win the AFC title game now.
wow. The Bills are...
You cannot have that song as your rallying cry banger and go into Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
You play that song at any party, any age bracket, any bar, any party, any sporting event, people sing it. They love it. They love it. They're not haters. They love it. And it's got a nice, quick tempo to it. That's why the Bills are going to just wipe their butts with the Chiefs. And they're going to play Mr. Brightside right down through Arrowhead.
Andy, John in the snake pit. I appreciate you guys.
I'm sorry, Chester. That's tough.
DJ Patty Cakes.
Geez, sorry, Chester.
Thank you. You can't call that song a banger.
Yes,
I'm
you
sorry.
can.
No, you can't.
Tell me okay, stop. Never mind you. When you sing it like that, I want to bang my face off the wall.
KU. Fast lane KU.
Paul, thank you. Appreciate you.
Marshy, CD.
Yeah.
I don't know. You probably thought it was Creed, but anyways,
I'm still waiting to hear the song.
when that song comes on, Marshy, tell me, no matter where you're at, people don't sing along with it.
100%.
So Anthony,
They also sing along to Sweet Caroline.
and you're telling me that's not a banger?
It's not a banger, but I certainly like that song more than I like for 3 minutes.
When you
Same
sing
pitch.
it like that, it sounds terrible.
That's what I hear in my voice. In my
If we were
ear
allowed to
hole.
play it, I'd play it right now.
Anthony, to make you feel better, I also have a strong music take. Blink-182, one of my favorite bands
stand that
of
song.
all time. All the small things, hate it.
Hate it too.
Can't stand it.
Well,
Love
it's
the band,
probably
though.
because it's been overplayed for you, right?
100%.
So you just don't like
And it's not their best song.
this. To me, there's something when it hits my ear hole, I want to kill somebody, which is ironic. They're the killers. It's terrible. It's a terrible song. Bills rallying cry. They're gonna lose.
Marshy, I say we put a little Twitter poll out there.
Oh, yeah. Marshy's poll will be
Yeah.
available today.
I want Marshy's poll right there on Twitter, and I want to find out who likes what.
What should the question be? Is Mr. Brightside by the Killers a banger? Just to keep
A
it
banger
simple.
or
Yes,
I mean,
banger.
that's-
Yes or no?
Is it a banger? Yes or no? That's the
Yeah.
question.
it is.
It's a no for me.
Okay,
It's a no
then
for
you
me,
can get
dog.
online and
It's a no for
vote
me,
there.
dog. I will.
Good.
I'll jump on Marshy's poll and I'll vote no.
No, you'll be negative too.
Yes, I will.
Not me, Marshy.
Oh, man. We're gonna have
That's
to
what's
listen to this
trending.
during the break.
That's what's trending here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. All right, the most intriguing storyline this weekend for a team. Who's got the most intriguing storyline for a team out of the four remaining? That's next on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We got the Championship Bash this weekend. Don't forget that you can join us and the Rizzuto Show at the Hot Shots in Fenton for our Championship Bash. Got a live pregame show. Marsh, me, Scott Rizzuto will be on at 11 a.m. at Fenton, out in Fenton at the Hot Shots. So get there early, grab your seat, enjoy the Hot Shots pregame tailgate specials from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. before kickoff. There's going to be plenty of screens to watch the AFC and NFC Championship games. A bunch of giveaways throughout the day, including Blues tickets, Point Fest tickets, and more. Plus, and here's the big thing, the Rizzuto Show will perform their choreographed dance pick'em punishment at halftime of Game 1. So don't miss the Championship Bash with us, the Fast Lane, and the Rizzuto Show at Hot Shots in Fenton this Sunday. All the details can be found at 101ESPN.com. If you guys were to focus on just one team, so not a matchup, but a team that had the most intriguing storyline this weekend, who's that team for you guys?
For me, it's easy. It's Commanders. That's the easy storyline. Like, you got a rookie quarterback on the road for his first 2 games, goes and shoves, and now he's got the team in the conference final.
Back-to-back upsets. Can he do it again?
Yeah, that's the story for me. That one's easy.
It's a good one.
No.
Whoa.
No, you said, can you do it again? That's a good choice. You said, can he do it again?
Why'd you look at me when you said it?
Because I said no.
Well, it was more of a rhetorical question. It was like, can he do it again? That's the storyline.
I was answering his question, and then I was responding to your statement. My apologies. No, he can't do it again. That was a good choice. Sorry.
It was a rhetorical question, CD.
I didn't know.
Zoosh, by the way, real quick, Zoosh, CD and Jamie will be there at Hot Shots.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Did you forget to mention us?
No, he just said
I said
him and
because
Marsh
of
will be there at 11.
The pregame show. You're not going to be a part of the pregame show.
Oh, now I'm not allowed to be a part of the pregame show. We're just talking to Matthew Chambers, and I'll be there. Now you're cutting me out of it again.
Is this because of the...
Is this a paid fee?
Is this because of the Killers? No.
The paid fee? You can have my half, okay, Anthony? I just want to be there and hang out with people.
You know this is out of the kindness of my heart.
Whatever you're getting paid, double it. You can have it.
Okay, good.
That'd be a lot.
Shouldn't be an issue. CD, you were saying?
Well, I was going to say the Commanders. I think that's a great story as well. As much as I hate to say it, I don't know if I hate to say it, but it's the Chiefs. It's the opportunity to go to a Super Bowl for the 3rd time in a row. I know this will be their 5th.
Fifth straight AFC title appearance.
This is 7. This is 7
straight.
For the Kansas City Chiefs?
5th. Oh, come on. Get out of here.
5th or 6th, because they've won 3.
5.
They lost 1. Yeah, this will be their 5th.
We're so all over the
they've
place.
been to 5 Super Bowls since
They've been to
Mahomes.
5.
Yeah, they've won 3.
Lost 1.
Wait, no.
No, they've been to 4.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
my
they
bad.
beat
They've
the
been to 4.
Niners.
This would be the
They
5th.
lost to the
would be their-
Bucks.
yeah.
They beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
They beat the 49ers again.
Correct. So this will be their 5th Super Bowl appearance if they were able to win this game. 3rd Super Bowl that they could win in a row, which, I mean, it will put you in rare air. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are already in that conversation of best quarterback head coach combination of all time. But if you are able to win another one, I mean, you're getting pretty close to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
No, that's
halfway there.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Halfway there.
Yeah.
No doubt.
What are you?
You're inching closer.
What are you saying?
Sure.
What are you doing?
Halfway there.
It's his firstborn. He's protecting.
Well, 4 Super Bowls. That's great. You're halfway there.
No, you're past halfway, sir.
It's his
No, Bill
firstborn.
Belichick
And I
has
don't mean
8.
Carson.
They got 6.
Bill Belichick has 8.
He has 6
Tom
as a
Brady
head coach.
has
Oh, look at what
7.
you're doing. I'm talking about Belichick and Brady as a combination. I love how you switched the narrative to fit the
I didn't switch anything.
You definitely.
Am I lying?
Bill Belichick has 2 Super Bowls as a coordinator.
Oh, so even more.
He has
He's got
6.
9.
He has 6 as a head coach. So he has 8 total, but only 6 as a head coach.
Am I
Brady
lying?
and Belichick as a head coach and quarterback combination have 6.
I didn't say combination.
I said combination, and you changed the narrative of what I
didn't say
said.
anything.
You didn't say anything.
Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will be at 4 if they win that Super Bowl. So past half. Yeah. Just
Marsh, your most intriguing storyline.
Just want the truth, Carey. That's all.
you can't handle the truth.
Tell the truth.
I'm with Jamie. I think it's Jaden Daniels. I already told you guys Commanders are winning the Super Bowl. They're beating the Chiefs.
Wow.
They're going on their New York Giants run right now.
You know what you should do, Marshy? You should pull up the Circus Sports Illinois app.
Oh.
put in a futures bet. They got the best odds on futures.
It's a great point. I might just have to do that.
So you're going Commanders.
I'm going Commanders. Jaden Daniels. Man, it is surprising how Brian Kelly couldn't do anything with him. Who else did he have? Malik Neighbors. Like, it was a pretty solid football team.
What we learned about
He had
Brian
a lot
Kelly.
of offensive talent.
And the defense.
Defense, not so much. Yeah, defense, not so much. For me, the most intriguing storyline is whether or not Josh Allen can get the Bills to the Super Bowl. Can he get over the Mahomes hump in the playoffs? We've seen him do it in the regular season. Hell, the Bills have won have won 3 of the last 4 matchups with the Chiefs.
How many in
The
the
one
playoffs?
loss last year in the playoffs.
Okay, that's all we worry about.
So that to me is the storyline. It is why everybody will be tuned in. Can Mahomes do it again, or will Allen do it for the first time? I think we can all agree the least intriguing storyline for some reason is the Eagles.
It's not. It is. I was
like
actually
no storyline
because I knew no one was going to go that route. I was going to go the Philadelphia Eagles.
And why didn't you, Carey?
Because I
it's
felt
not
like
that interesting.
It is. You know, you know what it is. It's
What is
almost similar to what you all have said about Ryan Day. He can't win the big one. You said Nick Sirianni, he's going to mess it up some way, somehow. No, you talked about just for a minute. He's going to mess it up some way, somehow. He's going to blow it. And you know what would be fitting? If Nick Sirianni goes back to the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs and they actually win it this time. They actually take it to him. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP with 360 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. And 50 yards rushing. They didn't have to run.
To the stadium?
They were unable to run the ball because Chris Jones was packing up the middle. So they said, we're going to air it out. That's the most compelling story for Super Bowl Sunday.
Carey.
The Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Sirianni walking it off versus the Kansas City Chiefs and your Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. That's for you, Anthony.
Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown 360 yards in the last 4 games.
Well, listen,
Combined.
He really hasn't.
You don't worry about that.
I kind of
Time and place for everything. All right?
Hang on. So you want to set the over-under at 350 yards?
No, that's way too high. That's way too high.
I know, Uncle Barry.
Yeah, that's way
you
too
just
high.
said 360.
Just let it happen, okay? Some things you just gotta. I blanked out
take advantage of
it. CD was cooking. Yeah. Now that he's come back to reality, he's not.
You never know, right?
Yeah, no, you gotta ask.
You gotta ask. If he's that confident, then I'll take that action.
Yeah.
You guys know I'm a matchups guy especially when it comes to the Super Bowl
You're a
storyline.
storylines
Love
guy.
the storylines. There is one matchup that I just do not care to see in the Super Bowl, and it is exactly what Carey just said. I don't want to see that again. I already saw it. Like
Chiefs Eagles.
I don't want to see it again. We had the Chiefs and 49ers, and that was a great game last year. It went to overtime, but we already saw that. Like
I want to see the Bills, the Commanders.
Either Bills, Commanders, Chiefs, or Bills and
Commanders
Eagles.
Chiefs is too difficult for me. I don't want that matchup because then you got everybody in red and yellow in the stadium. You don't know who's on what side, and then all the beard up people start to fight. They're fighting their own fans. It's no good. You want to know if you're punching someone in the mouth, they're wearing the other team's colors, right, Anthony?
No, I'm with Marsh on this one. Chiefs and Commanders.
Chiefs, Commanders.
Got a nice
Right,
burgundy red.
Burgundy. It's a different red.
It's a different red.
I mean, they do blur together the
It's
more
a-
beverages you have.
You know what?
It's a burgundy.
We're going to run a test. We're going to sit there, and we're going to have Anthony down 6 beers. And then we're going to start showing him Commanders colors and Chiefs colors. And every beer we're going to test him after that. See how long it takes.
You know what? I'm in.
Hey, it's
I'm
for
in.
science.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you guys want a little update on Marshy's poll?
Yes.
Sure. All right, so the question is Mr. Brightside by the Killers a banger? We have 44 votes so far. 82% say yes, 18% say no. This question was quoted by our own Brandon Kiley, who asked the question, who is saying no to this? I'm about to reply and say,
Oh, no.
Anthony Stalter.
No, just shouldn't have read the last part.
I rest my case.
It's all going to fall apart.
I rest my case.
If BK endorsed it, we're screwed.
Well, he's a Mizzou guy. They always play that song for Mizzou.
I rest my case.
Oh, no.
BK thinks it's a banger. I love BK. I consider him a dear friend. I really, really like BK. I don't know if he's the one you need to be following when it comes to music. All right? So.
I trust his judgment.
80% of the snake pit says no. You're right, Andy. Thank you. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Does Major League Baseball have a perception problem? No, it's a reality problem. Unless you're Carey, then it's a perception problem. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Super Bowl champ Carey Davis, and if you are having any car issues of any kind, well, my friends at All Things Appearance are there for you. They can help you out, whether it's standard maintenance, paint, dent repair, collision repair, whatever you need. They can also do some detailing, ceramic coating. They do it all. The guys will get you in and out and get you taken care of as soon as possible. Jeff, the owner, is a great guy, a fantastic guy. He wants to make sure you get on the road and get back driving as soon as possible. If you need help with anything in terms of your warranty, your insurance, he will work with them to make sure that you're not being overcharged and you're getting the work done as quickly as possible to get you back out there. The number you can reach out to them is 636-248-5051 or online at allthingsappearance.com. Jeff, he's not only the owner, but he will also be the one you speak to directly. That number I just gave you is his personal number. He truly cares about getting you back out there. If you have hail damage from earlier this year, that can also be taken care of. You can call him at any time, even after normal business hours. He will respond to you as soon as possible. The number again is 636-248-5051 or go online at allthingsappearance.com. They will get you on the road and get you going quickly as possible. And tell them Carey Davis sent you.
Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Does Major League Baseball have a perception problem? Here's Chris Rose on Chris Rose Sports talking about said perception problem and what he means.
In my opinion, the biggest issue that baseball's got is that they've got a perception problem, not a reality problem. The perception is we shouldn't even bother with the 2025 season. Here's the reality. We've had 25 seasons since the turn of the century. In how many of those years did the team that had the best record win the World Series? You want to give me a guess? 6. So the perception is it's probably half, something like that. The reality is you nailed it. The Dodgers last year became the 6th team that finished with the regular season's best record to also go on and win the World Series. The other thing I hear from people is that, well, if you don't spend in the top half of the payroll, why even watch the season? Here's the reality. Same thing goes in the NBA. I just did the previous 8 years. Here's where the opening day payrolls ranked. Dodgers, and going backward of all the champions, 8th, 9th, 11th for the Astros, 13th for the Braves in 21, 2nd, 7th, 1st, 18th, and 14th. The NBA champions over that same span, Boston, 6th in payroll. Denver the year before that, 9th, 1st, 13th, 3rd, 1st, 2nd, 1st. The point is that good players cost money. If you don't want to watch baseball because you think, well, my team has no shot, so I'm not going to do I'm going to go on to the next thing, then that's on you. And, oh, by the way, all you people who are complaining that you're not going to be watching baseball, I'll see you March 27th on opening day.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Chris.
Frick James in the Snake Pit said it perfectly when he said, pretty sure the NBA's ratings have also tanked. Amen. Here's the thing about Chris Rose and everybody that uses that argument. It's all they've got. Oh, wow. I've only heard that take, Carey. Which is, the champions, they change a lot. It doesn't answer the question, which is, if I'm in a market like Pittsburgh, Miami, we all know it, Colorado, this, that, and the other thing. Why should I watch my favorite team? They got no shot. Why? Because they don't spend. Why? They can't spend to the Dodgers level. And you're telling me because we've had different champions that it's somehow okay? It's somehow better? It's not a perception problem. It's a reality problem.
Who's the only champion we've had in recent years that didn't have a high payroll?
There hasn't been any.
Because even the Astros, the Rangers, they all have like a very high payroll. Maybe not the highest, but a high payroll.
The average payroll of the World Series champion the last 30 years was 6.8. Teams that don't spend don't win. So Chris did get that right. Carey Davis.
So you mentioned some teams. Arizona, Pittsburgh.
I mentioned Miami, Pittsburgh.
Miami. And you mentioned that
Colorado.
People would not be watching those teams.
Oakland.
Because they have no chance to win.
St. Louis.
Well, people watching St. Louis. When's the last time, before we even got to this spending bonanza, like when people just started overflowing with money, when's the last time those teams won a championship?
Who?
The teams you just mentioned.
You're proving our point.
No, before we started spending money like crazy.
No, even then, these teams weren't spending enough.
If all things were equal then, and nobody was spending like crazy, when is the last time they won a championship?
Yeah, but Carey, all things aren't equal. Because those teams were still spending.
No.
It's all relative to the times.
But the difference is the disparity is much greater now than it would be 10, 15, 20 years ago.
So
am I
the
correct?
Yankees were being portrayed as buying championships every year.
But what I'm saying is, and they didn't win every year.
I know.
What I'm saying is, when those teams, when the gap was even closer, when is the last time they won? They weren't winning then. So why do we assume that they have a chance to win now? Nobody is complaining. I haven't heard one player complain. I haven't heard one owner complain. I haven't heard anyone inside of baseball complain.
They're benefiting, though.
Exactly. So if those teams were never, when is the last time the Pirates won a championship? 1970 what?
Sure.
So they are not, that's not a champ. That's not the best team in Pittsburgh. The best team, the people don't watch Pittsburgh Pirates baseball. They wait for the football season. They wait for hockey season. They're not intrigued.
What's your argument here?
My argument is they never were going to win anyway. So why is it such a
gave up?
I wrote that on there too. It says a bunch of quitters. Yeah. People
the
quit.
Marlins won twice.
The Marlins won twice.
When they decided to spend.
They
held a fire sale afterwards.
But they got their championships, so they won. They got an opportunity. But these other teams, when the gap was even closer. They weren't spending, they weren't trying. They have never tried. So why are we so upset at this point? Well, it's not fair for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Who the hell cares?
Okay, so here's where I think we have a disconnect. I think you're right. To your point, to the argument that you're presenting, I believe you to be right. However, let me just throw this at you. You're using the bottom tier, okay?
Well, that's who I'm using the teams that he mentioned.
Gary, you're using the... Don't worry about what my associate said. He says a lot of messed up things.
Who's in the NFC Championship game this week?
Okay.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
And?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
The bottom tier.
I see.
I'm going to power through this.
Go ahead.
The bottom tier is what we've selected here, which you're right, probably hasn't really been competitive for, who knows, decades, right? I won't speak for Anthony, certainly, because I don't want him ever to speak for me, but the middle tier is what's suffering. So the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Brewers, the Royals, like those teams don't have a chance because they don't have the opportunity to spend way above market value on players.
My wonderful friend, I'm so glad that you brought those teams to mind. Because what the Dodgers have done is they decided to defer a lot of money to not...
Yeah, but they still have to pay the money out, Carey.
Okay, but it's deferred. You're spending money later. Make more money and win championships. If you are that hell-bent on winning a championship, the teams you just named, the middle tier teams, also have
to
an
find
opportunity.
A dance partner.
They
you
also
have to have a player that's willing to defer.
They also have an opportunity to defer money to the future.
You're acting like everybody wants to defer.
I'm acting like if you want to win a
five guys that we
So then what
of.
are we complaining about if it's only 5 guys?
But your argument is just defer everything.
I'm saying if you're saying there are only 5 guys and those 5 guys went to the Los Angeles Dodgers and no other player in Major League Baseball is willing,
the Dodgers, though.
If no other player in baseball is willing to come to your team and defer money to the future, that's your argument?
So my argument is to you right now is if you're a player, okay, and you can't just say yes because we all love money, right?
Correct.
But you have to right now pretend you're actually a Major League Baseball player.
Who am I?
Who gives a crap?
No, it matters because if I'm Shohei or if I'm...
You're not Shohei.
Okay.
Let's not get carried away.
There's a difference because Shohei has money where it doesn't matter that his contract
Bobby
is deferred.
Witt Jr.
That's fine.
Okay. A rising stud.
Let's do it.
An established young player. And Bobby Witt Jr. now doesn't want to defer money.
He doesn't have to.
Because... Well, you're just telling me if he wants to win, he has to defer.
No, I'm saying if you have players that are willing to do that, you work. It's an agreement.
How many do you think are out there that want to defer money?
So if there aren't that many out there, then what are we complaining about?
I'm not complaining, but you're using that as your platform now to be like to build a winner.
If you want to build a winner and you want to find ways to win championships, I'm certain you can find players that are willing to defer money that are of the Bobby Witt caliber, Bobby Witt Jr. caliber, because he's making money off the field as
people
well.
Would be doing it left and right, Carey.
I think it's easier.
It's a copycat league.
It is. So if you want to win, you should be copying what the Dodgers are doing.
We don't see it.
Maybe you need to hire somebody from Los Angeles. Maybe you need to hire me because I can tell you exactly how to get it done.
It was going so well, too.
I can show you. If you want to know how to win, put Carey in, okay? I'll show you how to be a champion. Right? You want to win. The Dodgers have given you the blueprint. What are you complaining about? You go out there, you meet with some people, you hire, I want that guy. Pay him more than what they're paying him.
You got less taxes. 35 years.
Come on. Hey, whatever you got to do. You want to win or not, Jamie? You want to win? You want to win. I know you want to win. So if you want to win, figure it out.
I feel like we're having multiple different conversations. Marsh, before you go.
Yeah, a lot of different personalities right now. The voices.
Ellipsis 150 brought up the Royals in 2015 as a team that was not in the top 6 in payroll. Ellipsis 150, just to clarify, it's the average. The average payroll rank of the World Series champion the last 30 years was 6.8. So it wasn't just a single team, it's the average. So Ellipsis 150, appreciate the comments and things like that. Just to clarify, it's the average.
And one other thing to add to this deferred stuff, Carey, the Dodgers have like $1 billion in deferred money and still have a $300 million pay.
They have a lot of money on the road.
I cut off Marsh. Go ahead, Marsh.
The question was, is it a perception problem, a reality problem, whatever. I think whatever it is, whatever side of the aisle that you fall on, there are 29 fan bases in this league that are mad right now. and
bingo.
don't really care to watch the season. Maybe some fans will watch more than others, but the casual baseball fan of certain teams are disinterested. And no matter if it's perception or reality, and whatever they think, those are your consumers, and that's not good for the sport.
That's the discussion.
Who is your anger directed towards?
It doesn't matter.
It does, because how are you angry? Here's my thing.
I'm angry at Major League Baseball.
I can't be mad at you for spending your money how you see fit. But you're mad at Major League Baseball for allowing a team. So you're saying Major League Baseball, stop, Anthony, don't spend any more money. That's wrong.
No.
That's
the Dodgers
crazy.
I'm blaming the players too.
The Dodgers are operating
because they won't agree to a salary cap.
Who the hell was it?
Here's my official.
Your league and my league did it.
We should have. Hell.
Here's my official statement on this. I'm not blaming the Dodgers. Do I hate the Dodgers? Yeah, but that goes beyond payroll. I think their stadium's stupid. The fans don't show up until the third inning. They leave in the seventh. They probably play Mr. Brightside. Horrible. It's a bad look, Marsh.
Yeah.
I hate the Dodgers beyond the payroll stuff. I don't blame the Dodgers. What I'm saying is, you know what, Carey? I'm not even mad. I think it is ridiculous that Major League Baseball continues to treat the fans the way they do. The owners aren't going to budge. I get it. You're making a truckload of money. Players, you're not going to budge. I get it. You're making a truckload of money. Everybody's happy. Well, I'm not, Doug. I saw two fat naked bikers having sex off 17. How am I supposed to chip when that's going on? As a fan, you're like, I don't need to watch. Oh, Chris Rose, we'll go find something else. Okay.
But they have.
You get enough of those people doing that, and you're right, Jamie. You're not going to have
For me,
profits anymore. It's like, what the hell happened?
Those people weren't watching anyway.
You greedy SOB. I think there's probably some degree of that, but I love baseball.
I do too. And you're going to watch regardless, aren't you?
And probably not. I mean, I will because it's the Cardinals and all that. I got to do my job. But to expand more, I used to watch Sunday Night Baseball. Love Sunday Night Baseball. I used to love love the playoffs. All this. Honestly, man, the least interested I have been beyond this year was last year. I'm just I don't need to see this how this movie's going to play out.
You weren't excited when the Dodgers were playing the Yankees in the World Series. There was no level of excitement for you going into that World Series.
I was more excited when
you weren't excited when the Dodgers were taking on the Padres in the NLCS. That didn't excite you.
Let's back it up to the regular season. And I'm a fan.
It's a long-ass season.
It is a long-ass season.
That, to me,
which is why it's important that the fan base feels as though their team has a shot.
So then shorten the season. Or because the season being as long as it is, you can tune out. If you are a casual baseball fan, you can literally tune out of baseball for 2 weeks, 6 weeks, and come back and still be engaged in because the season is so long.
Yeah.
That, to me, does not. That's more of a problem as to why people don't watch baseball. It's 162 games. I got to watch this every damn night. That's something that people are not willing to do when there are other things on TV. So it's not that baseball is dying. It's that there are other things that you can do. When in the 60s and 70s, when you got 4 channels, 5 channels, and you got the radio, and there's only one thing that can entertain you, you're going to be glued to that one thing.
What about the NFL?
The NFL in the 60s and 70s?
No, I'm talking about right now. There's things to watch right now. I got 487.
How many games do they play? They play 17 games. Oh, he knows.
What I'm saying is,
what?
The NFL.
What the hell is wrong with you?
A lot of things available.
The reason why the NFL is so popular is because I believe that my team has a shot.
The NFL is popular because it's like a drug. You only get enough of it and you keep coming back. It's one time a week.
That's a good drug.
It is. It is. It keeps you engaged.
You know what's not a good drug?
162 games.
Something that doesn't keep you engaged.
If you play 5 times a week, you're not going to be you don't have to be as locked in 5 times a week as I do 1 time a week.
I would disagree.
Well, we're talking 2 different things because I'm with you there, brother.
Bottom line, though, you make all these points, but still the fact is that some people will not watch, and that is that. And they might lose money because of it. And you can say all these different things, but at the end of the day, if people aren't watching, they're not making money.
You're right.
Well, they're printing money, so out in L.A.
Lips is 150. Anthony, don't be ridiculous. The Falcon, the Falcons don't have a shot. Well said. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. How is Ichiro not unanimous?
That's
Hall of Famer?
wild.
How is he not a unanimous Hall of Famer? We'll talk more bad about baseball next on 101 ESPN.
Take it from me, the Johnny Londoff Chevrolet family. They've been providing the best automotive prices and award-winning service in St. Louis for close to 85 years. It's unbelievable. From generation to generation, the Londoff family has been amazing to deal with. Look, they do their best to provide the best prices available. You're not going to find any prices better. If you do, they'll match it. But one thing's for sure, you're not ever going to get the same customer service as you receive with Londoff Chevrolet or the Londoff Autoplex out in St. Peter's. Let's not forget about them out there either. That's my neck of the woods. Jim Sappho and his crew do an amazing job out there in St. Peter's, right off of Highway 70. That's where we just bought my daughter's first car, her 16th birthday, and it was awesome. The experience was fantastic. Then you go to the original location in Florissant, Missouri. That's where my son bought his first car, his first real vehicle, Chevy Trax. Just an awesome vehicle, and we got an amazing price for it. And he had a trade-in that the Londoff family gave him the most money available for that trade-in, and that's because that's the Londoff guarantee. So please don't waste your time anywhere else. If you want good prices and award-winning customer service and just great people overall, it's Londoff Chevrolet. Please visit both locations. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. If not, check them out online. They've got deals on there every single day at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. So some unnamed moron
I almost said what I said yesterday. Don't do that, Jamie.
decided that Ichiro wasn't a unanimous Hall of Famer.
So wrote it down here.
The same guy that didn't have Derek Jeter as unanimous Hall of Famer. Or Ken Griffey Jr.
Why is there always one hero biscuit in the group? Like they should be exposed, and then people should be able to beat them with sticks.
Oh, that seems a bit harsh.
I don't think so, Carey. They're obviously not really believing what they're doing. They're just doing it to be the oppositional person.
I'm with Jamie.
I don't mean 2x4s, just branches.
Yeah. Just for how long?
Until I've had enough. And then when I say stop,
we could be here all day.
Maybe. Until they say I was wrong. Or I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Then the meetings stop.
Some pretentious you-know-what that decides that, well, because there's precedent already set that guys like Ken Griffey Jr. and Derek Jeter and whoever weren't unanimous that, you know what, Ichiro isn't either. All right.
Based off of I don't like the fact that you don't know who did it. Like you should be accounted
you should have to
for.
own that crap.
Like
you have your picture on the internet, MLB, the website.
And why did you do it?
MLB.com.
Like who did you? Why? What reason? Because it could be a personal reason, right? It could not have anything to do with baseball. Like why did you do that? Because and for a player, you're still a Hall of Famer, but there is something about being unanimously voted to anything. Like everybody agrees that you're this good, and everybody thinks that, but now one person says, "Nah, you're not."
But Carey, to your point, the most important thing out of this is what basis?
Correct.
Like show me. Like again, I'm going to go back to the website. Has like this a panel of 10 people, let's say, okay, and each of them show their votes, and then whoever says differently, they're open to a press conference. To their peers can ask them, what was it about Ichiro Suzuki that you didn't feel makes him a Hall of Famer?
Right.
Please tell us.
Because he accomplished all of that.
Show us your work, like in math. Show us your work.
Yeah. And then when you say, I can't, then we know you didn't put in the work, did
you didn't care, right?
Or maybe you don't know who he is. Maybe you didn't know.
And you're on the panel?
Who knows, right? Maybe you don't know. Sure. I didn't watch him.
He did all of that.
I didn't see it.
After 27. He came to Major League at 27.
Maybe that was the reason. Maybe they use that. Why you didn't get in the league early enough? Hey, it's a dumb argument. I'm trying to find it here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. We get a text from the 636. If Albert doesn't go unanimous, I'm done.
Has anybody ever been unanimous?
Mariano Rivera
was the last one.
Albert could be the first position player.
So who's the Diamondback? I had to catch myself.
Yeah.
That's going to not vote for Albert because somebody's not going to.
The guy that didn't vote for
probably Hugh Jassole.
Yeah, probably
BBWAA guy.
I haven't seen Hugh Jassole on our snake pit in a while.
Yes, he's been voting on the Hall of Fame.
Has he?
Yeah, he's been busy.
Oh.
Probably didn't even use all of his votes either.
No, probably didn't. Yeah, that was another thing you said, right, Marsh?
Yeah, I think there's a few people, or maybe one, didn't use all 10.
Didn't use all 10. What are we doing? What are we doing? And Andrew Jones is an Hall of Famer?
Well, how about what's his name? Billy Wagner.
Yeah. Doesn't watch these guys?
He doesn't get in last year. Nothing changed. And this year, he's like almost a unanimous choice. What?
So the system, really good. System not flawed at all
what's
when
his
it comes to
name?
voting.
Was it Chipper Jones? It was quoted today saying, there's 75 of us still alive. Why don't they consult us on who we think? Now, I don't think all 75 should have a voice. But what if you had equal number players as to equal number panel people, and you weigh the votes? Meaning, like the players' votes would count for a little more than the other people because they're amongst their peers. Sure. They recognize who the real Hall of Famers are.
Yeah.
Real quick, I saw this story about Ichiro. And obviously, we know he's a great player, but off the field, I found this to be hilarious. This is Mike Sweeney talking about Ichiro. You know, Mike Sweeney played for the Royals and whatnot.
His brother Mark Sweeney,
GM of the Bruins.
Oh, maybe. Anyways, so Sweeney says, talking about Ichiro, he leads off the game with a line drive to left center field for base hit, and he gets over to first base, and all I could think about was when I was in Japan playing against the Japanese All-Stars, anytime that an American would get a base hit, up on the Jumbotron would be this huge graphic, almost kind of like a 1950s, 1960s graphic from Batman and Robin, like pow or boom. And it would say, nice batting. And so over the loudspeaker, you'd hear the PA announcer say, nice batting. And you'd see these big graphics up on the Jumbotron. Then he goes on to say, so being a kid from Southern California that doesn't speak any Japanese, I don't know what to say to Ichiro. I don't even know if he knows English. He had just gotten here in spring training, so I took a look over at him, and I pat him on the back and say, Ichiro, nice batting. And I don't know what kind of response I'm going to get. And he looks at me, never met him before, and he goes, Mike Sweeney, nice ass. And I just started dying.
Tell me that's not all of it.
Right. He goes, oh my gosh, his English was perfect. No accent. And I'm going, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be great.
From what I've read and heard of Ichiro's teammates throughout his career, maybe one of the most well-liked players ever by everybody.
Yeah.
And how do you not love a guy who goes out there, just plays like small ball, basically, never makes a mistake, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like
gets his 3-4 hits.
it's just,
Him and Tony Gwynn, like my favorite hitters of all time. Like you can hit home run, that's cool. You're powerful, you're a big, strong dude. But when you can hit the ball to all fields and impact the game in the way like that, to me is real, pure baseball. I enjoy that.
Yeah, high contact. Yeah, he was a hell of a player.
pretty much one of the best leadoff hitters ever.
And now he's a unanimous Hall of Famer because everybody agrees.
Right, that's the problem. It's his fault.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
How dare he?
Let's do Bet the Board next. We'll do Bet the Board next.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That's right.
What are you doing? We're not even ready for that.
It's so early.
I'm ready.
This
Even
is
better.
part of it.
Bet the Board next on 101 ESPN.
This is part-
Missouri sports fans, got great news. Underdog is available to play in your state, and Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the NFL playoffs. Which players are going to go off, which ones are going to be ice cold. With over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all your favorite athletes' performances. You can also combine sports. It's not just NFL playoffs. You can look at NBA games and NHL games. If you've got an upcoming Blues game coming up, for example, and you want to take higher or lower on Braden Shen's points or shots on goal, you could combine that with players that are playing in the NFL games this weekend. So, for example, if you like Jaden Daniels to throw for higher than 1.5 touchdowns, or maybe you like Terry McLaurin to go higher than his receiving total, great. You could combine all those at Underdog Fantasy and win big money, all from playing on the app. Underdog is the best place to play. Sign up and deposit right now with the promo code Anthony to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. And if you're in Missouri, you'll get an additional $50 in bonus cash when you play your first $5 entry. That's promo code Anthony. Must be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. $10 deposit minimum. See UnderdogFantasy.com for terms and conditions. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Not good news for the Blues today. Philip Broberg went down in practice. Looked like he had no weight on his right leg as he was helped off. Per Jim Montgomery, Broberg will be getting evaluated, and we'll have more information tomorrow. Blues will take on the Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow night. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Coming up next, we have Bet the Board. We'll see if Anthony has a special play that he wants to throw, and that's why we're doing this early. It's coming up. It's coming up next, right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh. The Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The truth is, we're way off clock. That's the truth. We need a shorter segment, so that's the truth, Jamie.
Anthony.
That's the truth.
We got a game starting early.
I've known you for a lot of years.
That you have.
And if you pick a game that isn't a 7 o'clock start, I smell a rat.
We're good. You're good. We're good.
If that's the case, he would have did that when the Reds were playing that game.
Oh, yeah, no
He got in
kidding.
the car, they were down by
you're still
5.
live bet, right? You're allowed to live bet.
No, he didn't know the game had started. They were already down.
They were already
by
down
5.
like 5-0.
Oh, that's a
Whoopsies.
All right, give me Steph Curry, 36 and a half.
Whoa.
Points, rebounds. I'm first. What are we doing? I'm
Wow.
first.
Okay.
Just declared yourself first.
I mean, the standings
No, we
declare.
didn't hear that.
Well, we didn't hear those
Well, I
standings.
hit last night. I was already
Could
ahead.
have changed.
I don't think so. Did
And
you?
did we
you know what?
did we
I
verify?
apologize. I'm an honest man. I wouldn't lie to you.
Marshy, don't do it.
Yeah, no, Carey is in first place.
Marshy, are you next?
Yeah,
Yeah, don't do it, Marshy.
Who's next?
No, Anthony's next.
And then you went.
You
went yesterday first, so I think Marshy should go.
No.
Actually, you're behind Marshy now.
Yeah, you are.
That's why I like it.
You like an NHL play.
Shocker.
Yeah, he specifically
The one he's got pulled up on his
I'll give you a
computer.
hint,
You like the
Anthony.
Florida Panthers.
No, that game
I'll
sucks.
tell you what he wants. He wants that Matthew Tkachuk over half power play point. And I'm looking for it on this website, and I can't find
Should
it.
pull up Circus Sports Illinois.
All right.
Give me Steph Curry.
Okay.
Points, rebounds, and
we
assists.
heard you.
36 and a
Yeah,
half.
we heard you.
Just want to.
Why don't you go ahead and give me the Georgia Bulldogs +1.
What? Son of a...
Who are they playing?
Arkansas.
Oh, they're going to lose by 12.
Arkansas?
No, Georgia.
What has Arkansas done?
Arkansas is good this year.
Didn't they just lose to Mizzou?
Yeah. All right. Arkansas is 11-7. Georgia's 14-4.
Feel better about that? Why are they a dog then?
Well, they are dogs.
Yeah, they're a dog. They're the dogs.
Well,
It's Shub Marsh.
well done, Marshall.
Carey, excellent work. Marsh, even better.
All right, so I know Jamie wants this over half power play point. I'm not going to do that, though, because I know from experience watching you two gentlemen go head-to-head and trying to steal picks. It never really works out. So give me Matthew Tkachuk. No, I'm kidding. Florida Panthers team total over 2.5 at -140 against the LA Kings.
Marshy, just out of curiosity, can I get a leaderboard count, please? Please.
All right, so Carey has 9 points. Anthony has 7 points.
Oh, no.
I have 6 points, and Jamie, you have 5.
He's got a parlay coming up.
Give me Matthew Tkachuk, 0.5 power play points. I'm going to take the over. Also, give me Sam Reinhart, power play points, 0.5. Give me the over. Also, give me Alexander Barkov, power play points, 0.5. Give me the over. Let's also go Florida Panthers on the money line. Let's go the Colorado Avalanche on the money line. And I got more. But wait, this is a good night. This is a good night. I have to find the right one here. There we go. Let's go with, where are you? Nathan McKinnon, 0.5 power play points. I'm going to go with the over. And I'll go with Mikko Rantanen, 0.5 power play points. I'll go with the over. Take your
How many was that?
I don't know.
7?
We're looking at a 7-legger.
It's a good night
So
for
if the
this.
Kings win 2-0.
I don't care who wins that game. Oh, yeah, I do, actually.
You said it with such conviction, too.
Here we go, boys.
Got a lot of points needed.
Stars lined up.
All right.
Trophy husband.
We've got Are You Sold coming up. 314-399-9646. That is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you got an Are You Sold statement that you want to send in to us, fantastic. Again, the Air Comfort Service text line. 314-399-9646. Are You Sold? Coming up next in the Fast Lane. Lessen on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Are You Sold is what we're going to play right now. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Marsh, what do we got?
All right, let's start off with the 636. Are you sold that the Blues can make the playoffs if Broberg is done for the year?
Ooh, that's going to be tough. No, I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on that. That's how much Broberg has meant to this team.
The only way that changes at all is if Nick Leddy comes back sooner than later. Now, he doesn't replace Broberg, but with the addition of Cam Fowler, you have some serious depth still. So all your season, your playoff hopes are lying on the shoulders of Broberg and Nick Leddy. Who can be healthy the fastest and come back and help the team? If neither of them can, then I'm going to have to be... I'm selling on that, right? Sold?
Yes. Yeah, you're not sold.
You're not sold.
Jamie, any interest in Cale Makar?
Is he available?
No.
Any interest? That's all.
He'll
I
never
ask.
be available.
I mean,
Like, ever.
He
If
has
the
to be
Avalanche ever make him available, I don't even want to say what should happen to the person who does it. Bottom line.
What about Lane Hudson River? Is he available? Defenseman,
No.
the Habs. Man.
He's another guy that
Really good player.
Pretty much, he's right there with Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar revolutionizing the defenseman position.
Yeah.
And it's his first year in the league. So, okay.
Outlier.
Yeah. Like Malatov.
McAvey.
McAvey.
Molotov cocktail? Yeah, that's it.
Malatov.
Melatonin?
Maka.
Or Matvey Michkov?
No, there you go.
I knew that's what you were thinking.
Yep.
I knew it.
All right, the Waterboy wants to know, are you sold that Prime Time will be the new Cowboys head coach?
No, I'm not
not
sold on
sold
that.
either.
No.
I'm not sold at all because we see these other coaches that are getting first and second interviews, and Adam Schefter's like, first interview, second interview, follow-up interview, have talked to Dion. What does that mean?
It means he called him and said, "Hey, Dion, how you doing, buddy?
you doing?
Interest?
Yeah.
You good?"
No, I don't even think he said any interest. He probably, it's just like the trade rumors in Canada. Team's calling on Colton Parayko. Well, no kidding. Does that mean Army answered the phone and entertained it? No, it doesn't. But they play that half-truth.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I feel
Gets
about
the people going.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
No, I'm not sold on it either. I think that Jerry's going to go with somebody ultimately that he can use as a puppet again.
Who is available? Like, who's out there? I mean, I
think
don't
he's
see Cliff Kingsbury being
No.
the next head coach of your Dallas Cowboys. I don't know.
Who's like
Brian
really,
Flores is probably not going to be the next
who's like
head
really
coach.
boring?
Urban Meyer's available.
He's not going.
That's a joke,
If you
Gary.
hire Urban,
What about Nick Saban?
Nick is
I don't think,
done.
yeah.
He's
Is he,
really
though?
boring?
Yeah.
No, he's in North Carolina. Bill Belichick.
Carolina.
Carolina.
Take your shirt off. Is it right?
That was a great time to
now
be
that's a
alive.
banger.
That is a banger. Oh, Petey Pablo. I don't know.
Yeah, this one's tough. Like Matt Eberflus.
So
I
for
said
me,
Bill Belichick.
so he's
Matt
in North
Nagy, that's a
Carolina.
good one. Big
No,
Irv.
you are.
Says Matt Nagy.
Jerry is gonna go for a splash.
I
He
don't
got to be
think
a
so.
big name. He went kind of boring last time.
Kellen
with,
Moore's a
Mike
great
McCarthy.
one.
He's not ready.
No, he's not, but he's controllable. Kellen Moore is absolutely the answer.
Did he play for the Cowboys?
He was the OC under McCarthy and
He was the under
Jason
OC,
Garrett. He was going to be the next big thing.
And he just fell off.
Yeah, Kellen Moore's the answer to this.
Do you think the Dallas Cowboys should have gotten rid of...
Fishing about sports is the person that brought that up in the snake pit.
You think the Cowboys should have moved on from McCarthy last season and brought in Dan Quinn to take over as head coach?
Yeah, probably.
From the looks of things now.
Are they also getting Jaden Daniels?
Are you a fan now? Are you going to give him his credit?
Let's be real clear about this. Dan Quinn is doing a hell of a job in Washington.
There you go.
He's also doing a hell of a job because he's got Jaden Daniels. I will say this. The best compliment I can give Dan Quinn, my man knows how to hire offensive coordinators. I think he does a tremendous job of hiring OCs. I'll give him that.
I wonder if the Commanders, let's say they go to the Super Bowl. I wonder if Cliff Kingsbury is a name that people are waiting on.
Yeah, he says he's not in a rush to be the next.
I don't
head coach
need
of
to see
anybody.
that again.
Yeah, I think I almost like him as an OC.
Yeah, I don't need to see that again. I saw it. I don't need to see it. I saw it in college and I saw it in the NFL. You can't keep failing and having this much success.
Right.
You know who's available is Giff Smith.
Giff? Oh, Giff. Hadn't heard from him in a while.
Haven't heard of him.
Where the hell is he at?
I didn't know where he was beforehand.
Giff Smith.
I where he came from.
You could have given me
where Giff Smith
1,000
is.
names, and I would have not chosen Giff Smith that day.
Oh, he's the defensive line coach and run game coordinator for the Rams.
Oh, yeah, naturally. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Giff.
Giff.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, wow.
Giff Smith.
You know, that was a real
Who the
person.
hell
That was one of those
is
ones like,
Giff
this is
Smith?
not a real person.
Right.
No chance.
When you read that name on the Gauntlet, you're like, that's not a real person.
Well, that's a fraud.
Right.
It's something you made up.
But I couldn't tell you who it was the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you who the Chargers.
I had no idea either.
No idea. Giff Smith.
Oh, Giffy.
It's incredible.
Good for him.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Time for speaking of the Gauntlet, that was a question in the Gauntlet one time that we did not get right.
We've had some really good Gauntlet questions.
Absolutely. Grant, now that he's been fired and brought back several times under Jamie's watch, has done a great job.
Accountability.
Bradford Bruns, absolutely. Bradford Bruns has done a tremendous job. So why don't we find out what we get next? New Gauntlet challenger here in the Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN 401, your time check. Brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. We welcome in Robert to the Gauntlet. What's up, Robert?
How's it going, guys?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you joining us. Thanks for playing today. Would you like to take on Marsh, CD, Jamie, or me?
Let's go with Marsh.
Oh!
Andrew Marsh is up right now.
Wow, Robert, self-proclaimed good guy.
Yeah, or he's testing things to see if he is.
The barometer's up.
All right, Robert, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
All right, Marsh, you spin that wheel.
All right, Marsh. Good luck, Robert.
Thank you, man.
Get the fast lane out of here, Marsh. Robert, what are you hoping for?
I know how the wheel works. I'm not going to say anything.
All right, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Man.
Well, the wheel today spun football. Hopefully you like football.
Right. I sure do.
All right.
All right, good. You seem okay with that. 4 questions today, Robert. All football related. Marsh is going to get the same football related questions. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, it's worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I am.
Question 1. The last time the Chargers won a playoff game was against which team in the wild card round before losing to New England in the divisional round after the 2018 regular season?
I'll take the options on that.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Baltimore Ravens, or the Cleveland Browns?
Jaguars, Browns. I will give me the Ravens.
Robert?
Final answer.
Is that your final answer? Yes. All right.
All right, Robert, question 2. Which team drafted Geno Smith in the second round of the 2013 NFL Draft?
I believe that would be the New York Jets. Final answer.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, the New York Football Jets? Or...
Yes, the New York Football Jets.
Thank you, sir.
All right. The New York Giants retired which number for Michael Strahan?
I want to say it's 92, but I will take the options just to be safe.
Is it 92, 94, or 96?
92, final answer.
Final question, Robert. The last time Ohio State was in the national championship game, which team did they match up against? Who did they play the last time they were in the national championship?
Give me the options, please.
Alabama, Oregon, Clemson.
I was thinking Oregon, so give me Oregon, final answer.
All right. Let's bring back Marsh from the Cone of Silence.
I think it's going to be a good one today.
Robert, how you feeling?
So-so.
All right, we'll see how Marsh is feeling.
I'll tell you what, Robert didn't screw around today.
No, he didn't.
No, he ran.
Yeah,
Good job. He didn't.
Marshy, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great.
All right.
Go to silence, extra silent today?
Super duper silent.
Side of silence?
The side of silence.
Yeah.
Your category
Pack a lunch, Marshy.
is football.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Question 1. The last time the Chargers won a playoff game was against which team in the wild card round before losing to New England in the divisional round after the 2018 regular season?
I believe that was the... Oh, jeez, who was that? I'm going to say the Indianapolis Colts. Final answer.
Question 2. Which team drafted Geno Smith in the second round of the 2013 NFL Draft?
Let's see here. I think it was the Jets. I'll go with the Jets. Final answer.
Question number 3. The New York Giants retired which number for Michael Strahan?
Is he 92? He's number 92. Final answer.
And last question. The last time Ohio State was in the national championship game, which team did they match up against?
Okay, that was the Cardell Jones game, 2014. Oh, man. It's either Alabama. No, I think they beat Alabama in the semifinal. Oregon. Final answer.
All right. Let's go over these. Which team drafted Geno Smith in the second round of the 2013 NFL Draft? Robert, you said the Jets. Marsh, you said the Jets. Correct answer is...
It was, in fact, the New York Jets.
Neither of you needed the options. Nice job, guys. 2-2 tie.
Good job, Robert.
Thank you.
The last time the Chargers won a playoff game was against which team in the wild card round before losing to New England in the divisional round after the 2018 regular season?
Oh, 2018.
Marsh, without the options, said the Indianapolis Colts.
Nah, that's wrong.
Were you thinking Philip Rivers?
Yep, I was thinking of the home game.
Sure.
I just completely didn't listen to the question.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Robert, with the options, selected the Baltimore Ravens. I think it's appropriate that we get this answer from...
The Baltimore Ravens.
Carey Davis's Baltimore Ravens is the correct answer. Robert is now up by 1.
Sick. This is sick.
Question 3. The New York Giants retired which number for Michael Strahan? Marsh, you said 92. Robert also said 92. Correct answer is...
92.
But Marsh didn't need the options on that one. Robert, you had it. Robert, you said 92. You thought 92. You heard it right away, and you said, nah, that's 92. We have a tie game.
Yep.
Comes down to this. The last time Ohio State was in the national championship game, which team did they match up against? Marsh, without the options, said Oregon. Robert, with the options, said Oregon. If it's the Ducks, by virtue of not taking the options, Andrew Marsh is going to win. If it's either Clemson or Alabama, we've got ourselves a walk-off. Carey, the last time Ohio State was in the national championship game, which team did they play?
Well, Oregon was not the team. It was Alabama.
Roll Tide.
High Tide.
Walk it off. Wow. Alabama in the 2020 national championship game. Alabama
I was
versus
thinking when they
Ohio
won.
State.
I need to start listening to these questions, man.
Well, we didn't say 2020. We didn't give you 2020. No.
Just said the last time they were in.
Yeah, I forgot.
Fairness, we didn't give Robert 2020 either.
No, we didn't. Nope. We just said
Were you thinking the same thing, Robert?
I was thinking the Zeke year for some reason.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to work. Marsh, you got yourself a pen and paper.
Yes.
All right. Robert, you're going to hold off on your response. We won't ask you until Marsh writes down his answer.
Gotcha.
Closest to the pin wins. We will have a victor today. Here we go. Your tiebreaker question is, when Alabama defeated Ohio State in the national championship game in 2020, how many points did the Crimson Tide score in that game? When Alabama defeated Ohio State in the national championship game in 2020, how many points did the Crimson Tide score in that game? Marsh is thinking about this. Robert is holding off on his answer.
Wow, taking a lot of time. That's risky.
It is risky. Was it high scoring? Was it low scoring? Was it medium scoring? We have Marsh's answer. Robert, what's yours?
I'm going to go 31.
We do have a victor today. Robert just said 31. Marshy wrote down
36.
36. Jamie, how many points did the Crimson Tide score in that game against the Ohio State University?
52.
Robert.
Oh, Lord.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. You guys are both low. Robert, you just happen to be lower.
Crap.
That was a high scoring. That was the high scoring game. That was back and forth for a little while. What was the final?
Far too long ago.
52-24.
Okay, so Ohio State finished third.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Robert, you made it close. You got it to the tiebreaker, but Andrew Marsh wins today. Thanks for playing.
It was fun. Good job, Marsh.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks for being a nice guy.
Good job, Robert.
That's right. Yeah, another nice guy. Nice job there, Robert. That's the good news. That's the consolation prize.
All right. Thanks, fellas.
All right, buddy. See you, Robert. Marsh, congratulations.
Thank you. That was tough.
That was.
It would have been tougher, or it would have been easier if I would have paid attention a little bit more. But
I forgot that Alabama and Ohio State played in that game.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember. That was the Devontae Smith year.
Yeah. Was that the COVID year?
Yeah.
That was the COVID year. I think it was the COVID year.
Yeah, because I think Ohio State only played less than 10 games.
Who can remember these things?
Now, the one question I do want to know is, did the Chargers play Indianapolis in that wild card game that I'm thinking of?
They played in a divisional game, I think in Indy.
No, this was a home game that I'm thinking of.
It was a Chargers home game?
Yeah, and they had, who was their running back?
The Chargers?
Yeah, the Chargers.
Chargers over
Philip
the years.
Rivers. It was when they were still in San Diego.
Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles was a running back. Somebody scored, I think the game went to overtime. And somebody scored the game-winning touchdown on a run.
I don't remember.
Could be wrong on that one.
Well, let's see. Good thing we got Goggle for this, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so the Chargers, playoff history. Let's go through this, guys, because everybody's interested. Yeah, every single person.
Yep.
Jamie especially.
Absolutely.
They just lost to the Texans. They lost to the Jaguars. Their last win was the Ravens, 23-17. The last time they played the Colts was in overtime, and they won 23-17. It was in 2009. It was a wild card game. The running back for your San Diego Chargers was Darren Sproles.
Good job, Marsh.
22-yard run in overtime to win.
That's pretty dang good.
That's pretty good.
That's
almost, some would say sick. Almost disgusting.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, some would say almost disgusting. Nice job. Thanks. Okay.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. All right. It's Fasting the 101 ESPN. Marsh just full of knowledge. Why don't we play Prove Me Wrong next? Actually, you know what? Let's hold off on that. Let's get back into the Blues. So if you didn't know, Broberg injured at practice today. We don't know the full extent of the injury. Also want to talk about Pavel Buchnevich, though. The Buch not living up to the expectations that a lot of people had this year. Pick Jamie's brain as to why. That's next on 101 ESPN. Over 700 new and used vehicles all in one location out in Herculaneum. You got to check out Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. New year, new key sales events going on right now. And my friends out in Herculaneum are giving away brand new Nissans that are heavily discounted. Talking about new Nissans discounted up to $11,000 off. Brand new models priced under $30K. Zero down and no payments for 3 months on select used vehicles are also available. And they've got no payments for 6 months. That's right. No payments for 6 months on select new Nissans all right now. Plus, you can take advantage of some of the lowest financing rates that you're going to find at any dealership, like 0% APR for 60 months on select new Nissan models. Every 2025 Nissan model in stock comes with a free lifetime warranty at Auto Centers Nissan, 3 free oil changes, plus get that peace of mind with their 30-day return promise. Check them out online, autocentersnissan.com, or head down to Herculaneum. It's Auto Centers Nissan. By now, you probably already know, but if not, unfortunately, Philip Broberg was injured at practice earlier today. Jeremy Rutherford, who joined us earlier in the show, said that Broberg went down in practice, looked like no weight was being placed on his right leg as he was helped off. And according to Jim Montgomery, Broberg is getting evaluated, and they'll have more information tomorrow. Jamie, for those that didn't have an opportunity to hear maybe your breakdown of things, if Broberg is out for a while, let's just say,
yeah,
what does this look like for the Blues defense?
Well, it's not ideal. It just isn't. Ryan Suter has done a great job for the Blues this year. He's been an excellent signing for Doug Armstrong, and he has played up and down your defensive core throughout the season. Ultimately, you'd like him to be in your third pair playing at 14 to maybe 18 minutes a game. When he was bumped up in the rotation, he was playing like 23, 24 minutes a game. Now, Cam Fowler has been traded for, so that has helped you out because he's eaten up 23 minutes a game, and Suter's been able to drop down. But now, playing top four, Suter's going to be hovering around that 20-minute mark once again. Is it sustainable for a 40-year-old who, by the way, happy birthday, Ryan Suter, turned 40 yesterday, but nonetheless 40 years old on your blue line. Looks great. He's played 500 straight games, 501, I guess now, straight games. So he's obviously able to do it. Ultimately, you need Broberg or Letty back as soon as possible. Getting them both back would help you, but you're going to have to tread water. And I don't know the severity of the injury, right? Like, we could be talking a week, we could be talking 6 months.
Yeah.
So a lot of that changes everything. If it's, 7 to 10 days, you can tread water. If it's 4 to 6 weeks, you're probably either screwed or you have to make another move to fill the void.
Sure.
Or Nick Letty comes back. But again, I can't.
You're not replacing him.
Not only not replacing him, I don't know if Nick Letty will be back that soon. So it's like all of these unknown variables that are out there make it very challenging for a general manager.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Let's just say that. We'll find out more tomorrow, hopefully, if the injured news comes back. All right. Can the Blues ultimately get to where they want to go without the normal production of Pavel Buchnevich? The Blues are having him now in the third line. Not that he's played terribly. It's just we kind of expected more out of Buch. This is one of your better two-way players. Go ahead, Carey.
No, go ahead and finish. I was going to ask Jamie something.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think that him playing center to start the season maybe set him back a little bit? Is that a possibility? Is that something that could have happened to where he's not performing at the level that the expectation that there is? You're staring at me kind of weird. I'm wondering if I'm...
Are
what do you
you reading my mind?
I do that from time to time.
Get out of my head.
Well, I'm not in there.
Tell me what else you see.
I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell them. No, I mean, when you start off a season and you work, he probably worked all off season because he knew coming into this year he was going to be playing center. So you're focusing on that aspect of the game, and then it doesn't go in the way you expected it to, or the Blues wanted it to, and then they're saying, "Oh, we'll just move you right back to the position where you're most comfortable." But I don't know if that transition has been as smooth or as easy as the Blues would have liked, or as Pavel Buchnevich would have liked.
To me, he started in a hole, and the hole was playing center ice. And not only is it a more difficult position to play, it's more tiring. It's all of the above. But it's not a familiar position for him. So I think that there was a lot more attention to detail on the defensive side, which I get it. He's got to do a really good job defensively, but it didn't unlock him offensively. I felt like Buch struggled to find a way to put up points early in the season, and he's still struggling to find a way to put up points. I don't think he's shooting the puck nearly enough. He's always looking to pass, one extra pass every time, and that's a sign of either a guy that isn't playing well or doesn't have confidence in himself right now.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is. I'd like to think that maybe he's just passing because he really hasn't scored the goals that he'd like to score. But you're not going to score them by not shooting. And I know that Jim Montgomery and the staff are working with Pavel Buchnevich, he's a heck of a 200-foot player, but you need him right now to be putting points on the board. Mm-hmm. And he's just not. And this power play has suffered. Robert Thomas's little cold streak here, the power play has suffered again there. So there's lots of things that have happened. But Pavel Buchnevich, guys, I think he's making like $6 million this year. I'd have to pull it up again, but he makes $8 million next year for 6 years straight. He's got to be a 70-point guy.
Yeah.
We have fans or listeners that get furious at Jordan Kyrou because he's making $8 million. Let's go back and look at the stats, though. Right now, Jordan Kyrou is leading your team in scoring. So it doesn't matter how many points he has, he's leading your team in scoring. And when you go back to a couple of years, look at last year, Jordan Kyrou, 67 points. Jordan Kyrou the year before, 73 points. And he's making $8 million. So go back a couple of years ago to the 22-23, Pavel Buchnevich, 67 points. He'll be making $8 million next year. Let's go to last year. Pavel Buchnevich, 63 points. He'll be making $8 million next year. So the people who get mad at Jordan Kyrou and say that he's not worth $8 million, Pavel Buchnevich is going to make $8 million. He's not putting up the points that Jordan Kyrou puts up. I get the counter argument, but he's a 200-foot player. Fine. So is Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas puts up points. Patrice Bergeron put up points. Like, I know I'm plucking Patrice, but
still, he's somebody that you have to be an offensive threat.
You got to be a 70-point plus guy, and that's not even asking for a point a game. 82 games on the season, you got to be 70-plus points to be making that $8 million. And for whatever reason, it's just not working right now for Buch. If I can say one thing, about the relationship between Monty and Buchnevich is Monty's going to unlock it at some point. Pavel Buchnevich's best season, Jim Montgomery was an assistant coach here, and they have a very good relationship. And Monty was able to unlock a lot of things there. But I think that Pavel Buchnevich starting slowly as a center iceman and kind of being bopped around a little bit back and forth, I think that has affected him. And now there's been some continuity to his line mates, except for the last couple of games, because they weren't generating. It doesn't mean they have to put points on the board or score goals. They weren't really generating offense, and there were, minus players on the defensive side, so Jim Montgomery had to do something there to kind of stop the bleeding. So ultimately, I don't know. Like Booch right now is playing third line with Sonny and Toropchenko. Good players, hard workers, but are they offensively gifted players that are going to help unlock Booch's offensive side?
No.
I don't think so. Right. There's no disrespect to the players. That's just not the style of player they are. Toropchenko's not a 70-point player. Sundqvist isn't a 70-point player. So how do you get a 70-point player back to 70 points? He's got to find a way to work his way back up the lineup to play with the likes of Thomas, Kyrou, Holloway, whoever. That's what's got to happen here.
That's Jamie Rivers. That's Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We are going to step into the courtroom of the Honorable Andrew Marsh for a little Prove Me Wrong. If you have a Prove Me Wrong statement that you want us, as the law firm of Davis, Rivers, and Stalter, to prove wrong, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Prove Me Wrong, next in the Fast Lane. Missouri sports fans, listen up. Got good news for you. Underdog is available to play in our state. That's right, Underdog, the best place to cash in on all your takes during the NFL playoffs, during the NBA season, the NHL season. They even got college sports as well on Underdog. Which players are going to go off, which ones are going to be ice cold in a certain game that's upcoming. Choice is up to you. You play it at Underdog and make a lot of money, too. With over 5 million happy players and $2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all your favorite athlete performances. I love the fact that if you build yourself champions picks and you've got 3 players, one of them, if they suffer an injury early in a period, early in a quarter, Underdog has their Underdog Rescues. You can get your money back and receive a promo if any early injury causes your entry to lose. I don't know anybody else that does that. With Underdog's double flex option, you can even take 2 losses and still turn them into wins. They're giving away money at Underdog, but you do have to download the app. Underdog is the best place to play. Sign up after you download that app. Deposit now. Use the promo code Anthony. And you're going to get $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. And if you're in Missouri, you'll get an additional $50 in bonus cash when you play your first $5 entry. Again, that's promo code Anthony. Must be 18 or older, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. $10 deposit minimum. See UnderdogFantasy.com for terms and conditions. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Big news of the day, Philip Broberg went down in practice. He had no weight on his, looked like no weight on his right leg as he was helped off the ice. Jim Montgomery said that Broberg is getting evaluated, and we'll have more information on that tomorrow. We talked about that with Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider from The Athletic. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have Prove Me Wrong coming up next. So get your Prove Me Wrong statements into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We'll do Prove Me Wrong next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
All right, we're now in the courtroom of Andrew Marsh, Judge Andrew Marsh. Handsome as ever.
You know, and just as intelligent as one could ever wish for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You know, the brains on this guy.
Yeah, creative, imaginative.
I mean, he does
stupendous.
Music. You know, he puts together.
What'd you call me? Stupendous.
Yeah. Stupendous.
All right, Judge, what's our first case today?
All right, now that you guys have really buttered me up, from the 618, prove me wrong. The Cardinals are on the wrong path to being a competitive ball club.
They're not on the wrong path to being a competitive ball club. They were on the wrong path. When you're constantly not investing in your drafting and developing your young players, you're on the wrong path. Unless you're the Phillies, the Dodgers, these teams that can outspend their mistakes constantly, which the Cardinals are not, you better be great at scouting and developing. One reason why they weren't consistently great at scouting and developing is because they didn't have the resources. They didn't fund the scouting department at any level. They weren't doing it right. They knew they weren't doing it right. Took a while, but now they're on the right path. And you can't continue to just buy mid-tier free agents thinking that that's going to solve the problem. You've been on the wrong path. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I know that they're no longer on that path. And I think if we have a little bit of better judgment scouting and maybe some international dollars spent, this Cardinals team will be fine in a couple of years.
From the 217, prove me wrong. Major League Baseball will have to partner with Amazon, Netflix, or another major streaming platform to provide local games within the next few years.
Oh, absolutely not. Have you not seen some of the other apps that are coming out? Victory Plus is a pioneer right now in this field. I was actually talking to one of their investors, I guess one of the owners of Victory Plus, and they're a direct-to-consumer app that they're going to be able to sell that to people on a monthly basis in their areas. In fact, Victory Plus is talking about being able to have all games available, no blackouts, no matter where you are. So if you're in Hawaii on vacation, you can watch your Blues. If you're in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, you can watch your Blues. So I don't think that the big dogs are the only ones in this fight. Quite honestly, I think a lot of teams right now, currently, I know there's like 3 or 4 NHL teams that are using Victory Plus. The Blues use Victory Plus in the preseason. The coverage is great. Everything's almost the same. You just have to make sure you tweak a few things in order to get it to your fan base. So the big dogs are great to have. Like, I get it. Those for national games, fine. As far as regional coverage goes, I just don't see Amazon or those big ones dipping their toes in the water. They don't have to. They can just handle the national games and let the smaller entities like Victory Plus handle the regional stuff.
Sounds very convincing. So far, so good for you guys.
Actually true.
From the 636, prove me wrong. Carey Davis will never support a system in any professional sport that removes money from the players' pocketbooks. And that is why he is fundamentally opposed to a salary cap in any sport, even if it makes the sport more competitive.
No, Carey, I'll tell you one thing about Carey, and I've known Carey a long time. Jamie, I know you've known Carey for a long time. One thing that Carey is not is stubborn. He's not somebody that doesn't look at a situation and just stick with the same thing. He evolves. He evolves constantly.
New information.
He just picked up A.J. Brown's book to perhaps give himself some more perspective on life.
It must be a good read.
Yeah, absolutely. Carey is always looking at things differently, bringing in new ideas.
You're doing so well, too. I mean, it was all terribly wrong, but you were doing very well.
You were working. I was proud of you. I was proud.
I was just waiting for the slip up. And there it was.
I was lost when I said he's not stubborn.
You lost it there. At that point,
you said that, I was like,
because
I just wanted you to compliment Carey.
And I won't include the Marsha on this one because the three of us are incredibly stubborn.
I'm pretty stubborn.
oh, man.
You just don't really see it all the time.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Your Honor, he's a handsome man.
Yeah.
From the 636, prove me wrong. All hockey sticks should have black tape. Harder to see the puck off the stick for goalies.
really? Have you seen some of the guys using white tape that are snipe showing on a nightly basis? All black tape. I thought this was America, a free country. You can use whatever the heck tape you want out there. Blue, green, yellow, black, white, doesn't matter. Just put the damn puck in the net. That's all I care about.
Amen.
As far as the goalies picking up the puck, come on. Let's not be silly here. The goalies already know what's going on. They don't even look at the puck half the time, quite honestly. They're looking at your eyes first, and then they're watching the release point off of your blade. It's not even, can I see the puck? It doesn't matter. I know that your stick is opening up the blade, which means you're going to go blocker on me. You're closing the blade. You're going glove. So I don't care where the puck is on your stick. I already know where it's going. So the color of the tape, quite honestly, doesn't matter for the goalies at all. For me, it's personal preference. Guys sometimes like to look down, see the puck on the white tape. Some guys like the black tape. I don't care what you like. Just put the damn thing in the net.
Hey, man. Waterboy says duct tape.
I have seen it used.
Really?
I have. I don't think it's great for stick handling, but I've seen it there, and I've absolutely seen it on shin pads, which that's got to be a mother trucker to get off those socks after.
Yeah. From the 636, prove me wrong. Spags deserves a head coaching job way before Glenn.
I mean, have you seen this guy perform as a head coach? Right? You think he deserves another head coaching job, a defensive coordinator job anywhere in America? Sign him up. He's doing a fantastic job. I mean, it helps that he has one of the best players on defense in Chris Jones. But to put him as a head coach, did you not watch the St. Louis Rams? I mean, you could probably almost single-handedly point at Steve Spagnuolo as the reason that your St. Louis Rams are no longer in St. Louis.
Whoa!
If you want to point a finger, everybody point.
No, what?
You had it.
I had it. That was going well.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. He sucked so bad.
He was so terrible.
He wasn't the reason why they left. It was people that worked above him.
Who was the head coach?
Who hired him?
It's that guy's fault.
Nah. Put him in place. Said, you're going to lose all the time. You think that guy deserves another job?
What about Scott Linehan?
Yeah, I was supposed to say, what about Linehan?
He's like 1 year, 1.5.
He stunk, too.
He wasn't worse than Spags.
Jeff Fish job?
He wasn't worse than Spags.
Jeff did a good job.
Hey, you want 500?
In comparison.
You're going to get it.
Spags won 11 games in 3 years.
Is that bad?
10 games in 3 years. It's not great.
It's his first shot.
Yeah, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Eminem told you.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, don't do it.
And I can't go against Eminem.
Yeah.
As you guys know, I grew up on 7.5 Mile.
There you go.
That one was pretty controversial. I think this one is the most controversial. From the 314, prove me wrong. Provel cheese is the worst cheese ever invented.
Anthony?
So what are we trying to do here?
It can't be me.
No, you got to prove
Provel cheese is far from the worst. You ever had an emo slice of pizza late at night? You know, you go to the right ones and you get that pizza and you smell. And that Provel cheese just melts in your mouth. You're looking forward to this pizza every time you order it. You order it because it is a staple here in St. Louis, Missouri, and this is what we're known for, and that's why it is what it is. It's wonderful.
So one step further, though, Carey,
Yeah,
you're just talking about, like, on pizza.
Ah, yeah.
Let me tell you something. I have traveled the world, and I lived in Switzerland for almost a year. Let me tell you, there are some cheeses that are terrible out there. They're stinky cheese. They're dry. They taste like crap. I wouldn't even want to put it on my pizza. So Provel, as much as some people, it may not be their cup of tea, fine. I get it. Travel the world. Try some of the other cheeses. Slap some of that crap on your pizza. See how you feel about it. All of a sudden, you'll be like, I'll take that Provel there. Give me a large Emos instead of this crap over here.
What do you think, Anthony?
I think my cohorts did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And I'd like to go ahead and rest our case because, again, I think they've answered all questions today, Your Honor.
Thank God you didn't talk.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
May I?
No, you may
he
not.
He can change his decision.
You're doing so good. It's a fast lane here on 101 ESPN.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every
If you love sports betting, then please download the Circa Sports Illinois app. I told you guys yesterday, spent the time in Vegas talking with Derek Stevens, owner of Circa Las Vegas, and his sports book is phenomenal in Las Vegas. Now, that exact same sports book is available in the palm of your hand. Marshy talked about a futures bet earlier. Well, Circa Sports has unbelievable lines on all of their futures bets. It's got that old feel, like Las Vegas feel to it. It is now, they call it your own personal bookie for that matter. There's no promos needed at all. The odds and the payouts pay for themselves. By the way, check out the odds. Any app that you see out there offering great odds, compare it to Circa Sports Illinois, and Circa Sports is going to have better odds for you. They've got tight money line splits as well. Exceptional customer service. High betting limits for those people who like to risk it, the biscuit a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? It is absolutely the best one out there. I highly suggest you download it. Give it a shot. You're going to love it. The payouts, again, are the best of any app. So please don't miss out on the action. Download that app. Bet like a pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
So we got a text, what was it, yesterday, Marsh, when we talked about college football. That was kind of interesting in regards to Ohio State and its rivalry with Michigan. Marsh?
All right, this comes from the 314. This is why I don't like the expanded playoffs. What should have been a make-or-break game against their rival, talking about Michigan, ends up being completely meaningless. This was too long and too many teams. I think 6 or 8 would be better.
Couldn't disagree more.
Yeah, samesies.
That's a bad take.
Well, no.
I get that I get it that they're a big rivalry game, but in every sport you have rivalry series, games, and all that, and those games don't necessarily dictate whether you can win a championship or not.
It has in the past, though. Typically, whoever wins and or loses that game, depending on where the teams are in the rankings, one will fall out of the top 4, and then the other one.
But, Marshy, that's why that's the past. That's why they expanded the playoffs, because they've realized that model just was not working
for
properly.
Sure.
Right.
But maybe the texter thinks that game in itself doesn't have the same amount of not hype. Hype isn't the word, but the weight.
This year.
This year, yeah.
This year.
Is that, you think that texter's from Michigan or a Michigan fan, maybe? Could be tainted.
Probably doesn't like college football.
Probably more likely. I think.
Because if you want to go like 6 to 8 instead of 12, then you're saying I don't want more games. I don't want more football. That's where I'm going to stop. So I don't.
They might not like Ohio State.
Maybe. But I think
I'm just going to bite my tongue.
That to me, the Michigan game, it does matter. It matters a lot. Those rivalry games matter. Did it matter in the grand scheme of things because there were 12 teams into the playoffs? No. But it did prevent Ohio State from playing in the Big Ten championship game. It did prevent them from becoming Big Ten champions. It did prevent them from having a first-round bye where they had to go win 4 games instead of 3 games. So
yeah, it did have consequences.
It did have consequences for them. The notion that, it's stupid to have 12 teams, the top 4 teams, none of them made it to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. So, and now, granted, you may say, well, Arizona State wouldn't have been a top 4 team. Neither would Boise State. But the 2 other teams would have been, and neither one of them made it to the Final Four either. So, for me, it was outstanding to be able to see 12 teams, to be able to see one team after coming off of a loss against Michigan, which I'm sure they hated, and a lot of Ohio State fans hated because they wanted to fire their head coach in that moment, to walk down 4 really good teams in the college football playoffs and win a national championship. Mm-hmm. That, to me, was spectacular. Yeah,
plus it's just this year we're working off the information of Ohio State won it all and they lost to Michigan.
Right.
What's to say a year, let's just run it back, and they lose to Penn State. They lose to Oregon and Penn State, and then they lose to Michigan. They're done. Season's over with. So, no, it didn't carry the same amount of weight this year because they lost and they still won a championship. Who's to say a year from now that will be the case?
Right.
We also have to factor in, if we're saying, it doesn't matter, the rivalries take on less meaning, Ryan Day likely would have been fired.
Correct.
He would have been fired. Had they lost to Tennessee, he probably would have been fired.
Probably.
So that put extra weight. Because of that loss, it put extra pressure, weight, urgency, expectations on Ohio State. I think in some regards, you're taking away some of the accomplishment of Ohio State if you were to say, well, the Michigan game turnout didn't matter. No, that was kind of the defining point of their entire season.
I would almost say if they don't lose to Michigan, they might not win the national championship.
Yeah.
Because that was, as you said, that lit a fire under them. The way that they came out against Tennessee, to me, was indicative of when they lost to that Michigan team. You lose to Michigan and you realize, oh crap, we can be beaten. We just lost to a Michigan team that is not good at all. They had an 8-5 record, I think. That wasn't a good football team. Mm-hmm. They were terrible, in my opinion. They could not pass the football to save their lives. They started 3 different quarterbacks. That's a terrible team. You start 3 quarterbacks in a season, and you got none.
Yeah.
And you lost to that team. And I think that reset them, and they went on and as I said, marched through the college football playoffs and won in spectacular fashion. Mm-hmm. So for me, that's going to be the defining moment. that would have been the defining moment, but them being able to lose that game and push through and find a way to win the championship, that to me, it just speaks volumes to what they were as a team this year.
No doubt. A couple people in the Snake Pit saying eight is more than enough. 8 is more than enough. DL 1904, any more than
Most
8
would agree
is
to
just
that.
greed.
However,
yeah, go ahead, Jimmy. Well, can I say this?
Sure.
I'm never going to say, and I'll just keep this, Jamie. I'll just keep this to me.
Sure.
You learn in therapy. You say it's just you keep it to you, right?
Okay.
You don't say the you word. It's
me.
Yeah. I feel, Jamie, Carey, Marshy. I feel as though that taking away something that you love, right? Like taking away something that you love. It's never a good thing. I'm never going to say, hey, let's take away college football games, playoff college football games. Let's take away NFL playoff games. I'm never going to say that. It would be like if I would say to people in the Snake Pit, hey, let's take away one of your kids. It's basically the same thing.
That's kind of harsh.
Something you love, let's take it away, and then let's see how you feel.
Kids?
Well, Jamie, you don't agree with them, so no, I don't have to. Wow. That's all I'm saying.
No, I mean,
now am I comparing apples
a good
to
number,
apples?
but more's better.
Right. 8 is fine.
Yeah.
12 is great.
I would agree with that.
Yep. 8. Excellent. Way better than 4. I mean, way better
10,
than 4.
very good.
10, very good.
12, probably the best.
Now you're knocking on the door of greatness.
Sure are.
You're at an elite level. Right, Carey?
Yep.
Okay.
16 too much.
Oh, I think so. I think so. Now you're kicking the front door in.
16. That's a big field. That's a really big field.
It's probably a waste, though, too. Because the last 4 is probably irrelevant. Right? So let's stick to 12.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go with 12.
Okay.
I'm glad we cleared that up, guys. Nice job. It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. What could slightly alter the Cardinals' chances of winning this year? Let's get positive about the Redbirds, huh? What? You don't want to?
I do, sure.
Okay. That's next on 101 ESPN. Well, we got our guy Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation on the line. Love talking to Stewie, especially when rates are dropping, and now's a good time for any sort of debt consolidation, right, Stewie?
That's right, Anthony. We actually had a veteran. And, people, when they start getting into trouble, they're afraid to ask for help. And things got worse and things got worse. And his credit score went from 750 to 586. And he calls me up and says, I don't know if I should file bankruptcy, what I should do. I'm just picking up my phone. I know I'm in a mess. Can you help me? Well, we closed him today, 586 credit score, veteran, gave him 100% financing, wiped out all his debt, saving $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month. 7 months from now, if he makes those payments, we're going to redo it for free again. He's going to go even lower, and by that time, his credit score is going to be better. He's going to be in a better position, and that's what it's all about. So don't procrastinate. Take advantage. Don't think you can't. When you can, let us help you, and you'll see we'll pave you a better way of life.
Don't think at all. Just pick up the phone and call our guy Stewie. There's no point. Stewie's going to be right there to help you with whatever your situation is. He'll hold your hand through the entire process, and you will love it at the end. He's always looking to save you money, and he's looking to help you out. He's setting you up for the future. So please, just call him. His personal cell phone number is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Call, text, day, night. Stewie's back from Florida. I bet he's all bronzed up. He's waiting for your call. Give him a call. If you can't remember that number, what can you do, Anthony?
You can always Google the Bag-A-Loan. Thanks, Stewie.
Have a good night, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
St. Louis Blues hockey can be heard exclusively on 101 ESPN. Get the info you need before and after every Blues game with a First Community pre- and post-game show.
First Community Credit Union, calling St. Louis home for 90 years and powered by Scott Lee Heating Company.
The team we're putting on the field in 2025 will look different than normal, but that's a good thing. That's exciting. It's a group that is truly passionate about playing this game the right way, but there's some youthfulness to it. And when there's clarity to that direction of a reset, then everyone can buy in and go hard towards it. And I feel like our players are energized by that. You provide them that runway and you get on the other side of that, and then you feel good about it. You miss on less players, you have more clarity at the end of the year. It serves its purpose. So Siani's a good example of that. Jordan, Gorman, all of them fit into that bucket where they'll be granted that. And I think we'll see much better versions of them because of it.
That was Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol at the Cardinals winter warm-up. That audio courtesy of Fox 2. 5:01, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. So you talked about optimism there. If there's one thing that you believe, because it's largely the same roster as a year ago. Obviously, there's been some weight that has been trimmed here. We don't know still about whether or not he'll be around. But if you guys see a slight alteration that gives this team success from the previous 2 years, how do they win? What's the slight alteration that you think could happen that could lead to the Cardinals having more success this year? Jamie? Why don't you start us off?
Sure. Go ahead, Jamie.
Jamie, you look like you're ready to start us off. Go ahead.
I mean, there's so many things to talk about when it comes to that question.
No, there's really not. Just pick, one. One thing you think can change the Cardinals that was different than a year ago.
I can give you one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't pick. There's too many, so go ahead.
This team could be better if Jordan Walker is the star, not the St. Louis Star, but the star.
What?
Yeah, the star.
There's already a St. Louis Star.
Correct.
That's right.
That they have predicted him to be.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
You get a young, powerful hitter that can maybe bat clean up for you. I don't know. Bat in the 5-hole. You like it, Jamie. And plays every day. Mm-hmm. Plays really good defense in the outfield.
What's that again?
I said these are the things you're asking me.
Plays every day.
What could be done?
Man, the outfield thing.
Every day playing good defense in the outfield is what I said.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, young star. Mm-hmm. I think Mason Wynn is doing a fantastic job leading off because he's the shortstop. And that's what Jamie says.
Prerequisite.
You have to be that in order to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
On my team, you do.
I don't think so.
My team.
You were adamant that day.
That's out of my mind.
He can't bet leadoff. Why?
He's not a shortstop.
I had no idea what was going through my head that day.
We've all been there.
I said, what did I just say?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think if you get, really good play, like all-star caliber, all-star level play, that's one upgrade that you didn't have last year.
Carey?
Okay.
I respect that.
For one.
So,
And there it is.
I have one. Is a rotation has to be better. And
Preach.
you got Sonny Gray. You have Sonny Gray, who's your number one here in St. Louis.
St. Louis ace.
St. Louis ace.
Oh, gosh.
You've got Andre Palante, who we know is just going to battle. He ended up having a very solid season for himself. Now here's where the waters get murky. Steven Matz, if he pitches when he's healthy the way he has, he's been fine for you. Fine. Miles Michaelis, not great. But he's on record saying that he owes the people in St. Louis a better 2025 season, and he intends on doing that. He wants to change the narrative surrounding him.
I believe in the Moose.
He doesn't like the
He
name.
doesn't like the name Moose.
Yeah, don't call him Moose.
Ever since he's pulled that crap, look what's happened, by the way.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Then you've got Quinn Matthews that everybody across baseball seems to think this guy has a real legit chance of breaking camp with the Cardinals. If that's the case, great. You've got Graceffo. Ultimately, it could be an upgrade. When you look at what you had last year, this year's current rotation could be an upgrade based on the fact that you really didn't know what the hell you were getting half the time last year.
I think for me, it really has to be fundamentals. Like, what are we going to get out of this team? Don't laugh at me, Carey.
Well, I was laughing at Zeus. She said, hit the buzzer, Marshy.
As if we're still playing Prove Me Wrong.
Jesus, Zeus.
G-Dog, too, says he doesn't like the name Moose, play better. I'm with G-Dog.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, go ahead,
Have
Marshy.
you heard that story?
Yeah, well, I think
The
so.
Moose story?
You asked him, do you want to be called Moose? And
I
he
said,
said,
how
no.
about Moose? I call you Moose. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah, no.
Yeah, flat out.
Okay.
No.
He's like, I'm from Florida. I was like, would you rather be called Manatee?
Yeah.
Like, come on, right? Like,
Yeah, guy's never been the same since.
it really hasn't.
But, with this team, they're a young team. And, when you're young, you make mistakes. I think if Ollie Marmol can get this team to be fundamentally sound, I think you can win games that maybe you won't on paper. I think team speed will be a huge thing. Mason Wynn talked about getting faster this offseason. Maybe he can steal a few more bags, put himself in scoring position. You get a base hit. You're manufacturing runs that aren't necessarily coming from the long ball. Like, yeah, you'll have that here and there. You have some guys with pop, but they're not going to hit you 30 bombs every year, right? You're not going to get 30 ding-dong Johnsons in a season from multiple guys. You have to find different ways to manufacture runs. And I think if they can do that, I feel like their win total will be a little bit higher than maybe what we're expecting. But it comes down to simple, fundamental baseball. And to me, that's Cardinal baseball. If you can get back to what that brand is and what you have been in the past, regardless if you have all-stars or superstars in your lineup, I think you can win games and be competitive. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs by any means, but I think they can be a competitive team if they stick to the fundamentals.
Yeah, I like that, Marsh.
You all are
Absolutely.
going to be surprised by this team.
Carey, you're not even rooting for him. You picked a different team.
Seriously, he's wearing the blue glasses like the Dodgers.
No, I'm a Cardinals fan.
No, you're not.
You're really surprised by this team.
No.
Yeah, I am. I believe in the Cardinals.
We're
Hide those.
Those aren't
We
even the
know
right
you.
glasses. They're right here. Which ones are those?
Well, he was reaching for those.
He was reaching
Carey
for
was
these.
starting his crap. No.
I am a
The
lifelong
fence is wobbly
Cardinals
that Carey
fan.
stands on.
Anthony, what about you? You haven't chimed in.
Yeah, what
you
do
have
you
the
think?
glasses, too.
You do. Let us know.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know why we have to pick one thing when there's many, many things that our St. Louis Cardinals are going to be better at next year.
One thing is you told us.
Jamie hit the nail on the head. Jamie, if I may. Jamie hit the nail on the head with the pitching. It's all about run prevention. They don't score. They can't win. right? Now, my good friend Carey Davis will always say, yeah, but you have to score runs too. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's where Jordan Walker, St. Louis national star
there
comes
you
in.
Go.
Right? This kid is an athlete. Is he a baseball player? We have no idea.
Oh, wow.
But is he an athlete? You're damn right he is.
That's a crap sandwich.
Nolan Gorman's going to hit 30 bombs this year. Might strike out 500 times, but don't forget, 30 bombs this year. Also might not play a lot because we can't move Nolan Arenado's dead ass. But this team is going to have more than enough offense. Do we have a cleanup hitter? Yeah, Brendan Donovan did a hell of a job last year.
Von Herrera. Just moved him to Contreras to first base.
Tell you something. Carey just brought up another point. When you have 3 catchers in your lineup, you're doing things. Because typically, the catcher on any baseball team is usually the best hitter.
Yeah.
So we got 3 best hitters, huh? Okay.
Exactly.
I see what you're doing here. Yeah. Okay.
This team's locked and loaded.
Have you seen?
Love it.
Carey, Pedro Pages had some huge hits. Not only hits, huge home runs.
Exactly.
Last season for the Cardinals. Won them some games.
How many do you have total?
That's why they got three catchers on the
line. It's not about the quantity.
They don't ask about how many. They ask about how many. You know what I mean?
I think you might have butchered that.
How? They ask how many.
Thank you, Carey.
Reminded me of.
I think that's what James
fool me
said.
once. Shame on you.
Fool me twice.
Fool me, can't get fooled again.
It's the greatest thing ever.
And that's an intro to which artist song?
You know this.
It's your guy.
You know
Wait,
this.
I missed it. What'd you say?
It's an opening to a certain song for a certain artist, and it's your guy.
Your guy.
Your guy. It's an artist.
You know it.
Rapper.
Come on.
Oh, man.
You forgot already,
I did. Now you know it.
Hold on.
You know it.
What's his name? J. Cole.
Yes.
J. Cole.
Yeah.
That's, boy, he's got some bangers, doesn't
Yeah, he does.
He does.
We
got a text from 309. Why so critical of the Cardinals? I get things aren't great.
I wasn't.
Anthony, I'm just reading the text, man.
Let him finish.
I'm just reading the text. I get it, things aren't great, but if you add in overtime losses, the Blues have lost more games than they've won this year, yet all things are fine with them, and they're supposedly playoff teams.
That's a ricochet if I ever
seen one. I don't understand this when people get confused. We haven't said the Blues are fine.
No. You said they're a playoff team.
No,
I said they could be a playoff team.
As could your Cardinals. That's where we're going.
Can they?
Cheers.
Yeah, they could be. Absolutely.
You got to watch them play first.
Yeah.
That's why you tune into the games.
We're going off of what we've seen the past 2 seasons, and it hasn't been great.
It hasn't, but you know what? The only way that you get better is you get worse first. And that's where the Cardinals are.
That seems like it.
That seems counterproductive.
The only way is up. You know?
Okay, that's true.
You know what? The 314 says not the intro to J. Cole song. That's correct. It's a part of the song.
It is part of the song.
It's part of the song. That's what I mean.
Why'd you lie?
It didn't confuse you, though. You still got it right.
Yeah.
But I was confused initially.
You can't get fooled again.
Yeah, it's not part of the intro, but it is within the song.
Okay. This is for everyone, okay? Especially that last texter. Cardinals are going to be fine. All right? They're going to be fine.
Glasses on.
They're going to be just fine. There's a lot of reason for optimism. A lot.
More wins this upcoming season than last year?
Absolutely.
I don't like how you said that.
No, I believe that.
More? How many more?
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got Sports Six Pack next. So send in your questions. 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line, Carey. We have our Sports Six Pack next, 84.
All right, selling your home can be extremely stressful, especially this time of year. You're not sure if it's the right time for that matter. Should you wait? Should you do it now? How much should you ask for your home? What are the upgrades maybe you need to apply to your home? What are some of the things that the consumer's looking for? Don't worry about all those questions. I can handle that for you, and it's easy. Why? Because I've got Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty, and you should too. Gloria's been in the business for over 20 years, and she knows exactly where the market is trending, and she understands the St. Louis area in particular. And we all know there's different areas, different price ranges, different kinds of homes, schools, all that stuff. Gloria Liu will take care of all of that for you. She'll walk into your home, and she'll let you know exactly what's going to help sell your home quickly. And she also has a database with thousands of buyers that are ready, willing, and able to purchase your home. How does that help you? It drives more traffic to your listing, maybe multiple offers, and then hopefully more money for you in your pocket. But one thing I do know about Gloria Liu, she's going to get your home sold, and she's going to get you to that closing table. So please give her a call. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number's 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888, or you can always visit her website, GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Before we get to question number one, Anthony, that texter that texted us in the last segment, 309 says, you guys are just always sarcastic towards the Cardinals, LOL. But at least with the Blues, you project optimism. The Cardinals have a direction now that the fan base is aware of. Maybe just a little optimism for fans to get behind, especially when things haven't been great.
We tried, man.
I've been very positive.
We've tried.
I'm positive for the Cardinals.
Well, We have tried, though. Jamie's right. In all seriousness, we have tried. If you don't hear it that way, then that's on you. That's not on us. We're only responsible for what we say, not for what you hear. We have talked about the new direction. I've talked countless times, including in Prove Me Wrong, where I absolutely meant what I said, in that they can't keep doing what they were doing. It is smart to pause, pivot, and go down a different direction. This is the right path. It's going to take some time. And then every time I say that, or Jamie says something similar, Carey says something similar, we get taken behind the woodshed by people that say we're on the Cardinals payroll. So can't really win in that regard. I like the direction. We'll see what happens. Because here's the thing. Going down the same direction as the Cleveland Guardians or the Tampa Bay Rays or any of these other teams that really know how to scout and develop from within, with also the game plan, which I do think the Cardinals' game plan will be, retaining these players is a great way to go. But you have to be able to do it. Just saying we're going to scout and develop and do all that, great. Can you do it, though? Because you can't just imitate. You have to actually be able to scout. And you actually have to be able to pick the pocket of other teams. I like the direction that the Cardinals are heading in. I have no idea how long this retool is going to take, but it's much better than what they have been doing, which is what we call the Flex Seal approach, which doesn't fix anything.
I know that stinks.
I hope that was positive enough for you.
Good job.
I love you.
I think you did a great job.
Thank you for listening.
Proud of you.
Question number 1.
All
Go
right.
Chiefs.
What? All right. I don't know about that.
Sorry, I got lost in the moment.
That's okay. It's okay. From the 314, what St. Louis team has the best core and most upside?
What St. Louis team has the best core and most upside?
Yes.
Oh, geez. If I say the Blues, then this guy's going to get all pissed.
No, but let's be honest here. So I would have said...
I would say the Blues.
I would have said probably the Cardinals with their youth movement and whatnot until Doug
Broberg
Armstrong got Broberg and Holloway. Until I watched Dalibor Dvorsky in the World Junior. Until Jimmy Snuggerud was the first star in all of NCAA hockey last week. Until Otto Stenberg played his first American Hockey League game and scored a goal.
Preach.
You got that, like the Cardinals have 3 players in the top 100 prospects, okay? The Blues had 9 players at the top under 20 tournament in the world.
Yeah.
Add that to your lineup, or I just think, I'm not being biased, I think it's the Blues.
Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it, is what you want to say.
No, I do. I actually want to be nice about it, but I just think that now that's where it's at.
The truth hurts. And, this man or woman.
I don't think they were being mean.
No, I just think that they think we're being mean when we tell the truth. And the truth is the Blues probably are better suited
now,
at this moment.
A year from now, with some of the prospects, Tink Hentz and all these guys, a year from now, it could change. It could be different. Mm-hmm. I hope it is.
I wonder if this is coming from... and I don't think this texter, the 309, is the only person that feels this way.
No, I don't think so either.
I wonder if it's coming from I'm angry because you guys aren't pumping up the Cardinals, or it's dude, can you give me? I love listening to the show. Can you give me something to be hopeful about?
Yeah.
Do you think that's what it is?
You know what, Marsh? That is incredibly fair. That's incredibly fair, because if you're listening, you do want some optimism, right? You want some optimism that your favorite team, the team that you are invested in, the one that you love, has a shot. But you don't realize that the Los Angeles Dodgers exist.
See, that's the problem.
I'm sorry. Can I try again? Take 2. Marsh, I do think that's incredibly fair. And I mean that wholeheartedly. You're going to just have to kind of give... I can only say what I actually believe. And I actually believe that the way that the Cardinals have done things is total crap. I don't think they've done it right. I think they've cut corners. I think they've tried to do it in a cheap, ineffective way. And now they're actually getting to the root of the issue. They have mold and asbestos problems, and they keep changing the garage code and saying, we're good. So I actually think they've got now to the mold and the asbestos, but it's gonna be a while to clean it up. So if you want to be patient with this, I'll continue to say, yeah, I think there's hope on the horizon. If you're one of these people that's like, why aren't they signing people? No, that's not the way to do it. Mm-hmm. So I think that the Cardinals have done a nice job of recognizing the problem. That's only step one. I do think the future is slightly bright, assuming that they can scout and develop and, whatever. Go Chiefs.
I'm excited about watching Jordan Walker.
They do it again?
Yeah, you did. I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like when you send an email and at the end it says like sincerely.
Yeah.
Or it's like a tag.
Yeah.
That's just
like a signature.
Yeah, like a signature. That's his signature.
By the way, we have a question or a text here from the 636 says, I haven't listened to the Fast Lane lately because of work. So my question is, has Anthony declared the Chiefs his football team yet?
Oh, he did that.
I did that start of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But in my defense,
last year.
There's no defense.
Last year.
Carey and Jamie and Marsh all said, why don't I start early this year? And I'm like, no, I won't do that at all.
Saying that.
And
I don't even thinking that, to be honest.
So I started earlier this year. So
I'm just taking a page out of your book. That's why I started early.
You waited until after the team won the title.
Which team?
The Dodgers.
No, I was
talking
there.
about the Ravens.
Stop it.
The Ravens, I'll give you. You've been on the Ravens since day one.
You stop it too.
Carey has been.
You all should be ashamed. Let's talk about the Dodgers.
We can go back and download every single podcast. You have nothing negative to say about the Ravens all year long.
Schaefer Door Company.
I picked against them when they played the Steelers.
What we understand why, but every other team, you picked your other favorite team, the Ravens.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't agree.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 2.
Very important question here from the Water Boy. Will the Winter Soldier be at Hot Shots on Sunday?
He's probably busy.
Winter Soldier.
It's Anthony.
Who's the Winter Soldier?
Are you the Winter Soldier?
My.
Maybe I wasn't here for this.
Should I have been casted as the Winter Soldier? Some are saying yes.
Could you have been the Winter Soldier at Halloween?
Yeah.
I've missed a few things here.
Yeah. So the Winter Soldier is by far the best of the Captain American movies.
That's why I missed it.
He tuned it out.
Yep.
Carey, tell him.
No interest.
Tell him what the Winter Soldier did.
He ripped the steering wheel out of a car while it was driving. I mean, that alone was it was incredible.
Yeah.
Ripped the roof off, ripped the steering wheel out, and they had nothing to drive with. I was just saying.
That's how you hit the curb,
right?
I was like, whoa, okay.
Jamie.
That's how someone could hit the curb.
Yeah. True. I will be there. I don't know if the Winter Soldier will be there.
Never know.
You never know.
Question number 3.
Thank you, MD 2020. Greatly appreciate it.
Nice.
Through the I haven't heard one bad thing about the Ravens from
You're
CD.
welcome, CD.
Thank you, MD 2020.
I misread that.
Yes. Thank you, MD 2020. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, what he said.
He said I hadn't heard one thing about the Ravens.
Yeah, Lil B-Hole says, I thought Gridiron Guys was a Ravens podcast until I listened to a few more episodes.
It's so great. It's so true.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm sorry. Anthony, I apologize.
Apology accepted.
Grant Francis Fan Club. Jamie, can you give us an inside look at how an NHL coach manages matchups on a typical night? Where's the balance between matching lines and rolling lines?
Yeah, so it obviously depends on the opponent. I mean, if you're playing against the Edmonton Oilers, then matching lines is certainly a priority. You no matter how good your third or fourth line is, for the most part, you'd rather not have Connor McDavid out there against Zach Bolduc and some other young guy. It's not setting the player up for success, and it's not setting your team up for success. So a lot of times you have in your pre-scout, your paperwork, you have the matchups that are ideal. Then you have your secondary matchups that you'd like to have against certain lines. And especially when you're on the road, you got to go 2 matchups deep in order to make sure that, you can accomplish that, because they have last change. So you're not always going to get the perfect matchup. Now the Blues, they have a unique situation to where that Faksa, Walker, and Toropchenko line at the time. Now Joseph, Monty's been able to kind of put that line out there against anybody, and that's a big help because that could be your stopgap. You put those guys over the boards, and then if Connor McDavid comes out or whatever, then you're not upset with it. If it's a different line, you can tell them, hey, get the puck out of the zone, get the change, and then we get the favorable matchup after that. So that's kind of how, it's outlined. The team definitely knows what the matchups are, and the team definitely knows on nights where you don't have to worry about matchups because it's an equal or lesser opponent, but even lesser opponents have certain matchups that are more favorable for you. But the coach, especially Monty, communicates very well, what types of matchups he'd like to have out there.
That is Jamie Rivers. That is Carey Davis. That is Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. And we will carry over the Sports Six-Pack next on 101 ESPN.
If you're looking to accessorize your vehicle, head over to Pure Performance. They're your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. Look, if you're looking at your car right now and you're realizing that those tires are not ready for the snow, please drive by Pure Performance. They'll have a look at them with you. They'll tell you exactly what they think. And no matter what vehicle that you're driving, they have any tire wheel available to you in-house right there in their 25,000 square foot facility. It's the largest in the area, by the way. But if you have any vehicle out there and you look to spice it up a little bit, lift kit, leveling kit, the bigger tires, the light kit, the running boards, all of those things are available at Pure Performance as well. And they do a fantastic job of making sure that you're 100% satisfied with your vehicle when you leave. The technicians are awesome. And all you got to do is go check it all out. Right there in St. Peter's, Cave Springs exit. Go in there, ask for Shelby or Caleb. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. They're going to talk to you about what the vehicle is, what your budget is, and then they will make sure that they satisfy everything that you're looking for at Pure Performance. So please check them out in person or online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We talked earlier today with Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider from The Athletic, talking about Philip Broberg as he went down in practice. We'll see what happens tomorrow as he is getting evaluated. Perhaps he'll be out for an extended period of time. Who knows? If that is the case, what does that do for the Blues and their defense? We talked about that earlier today as well. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. The Blues will take on the Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And after the show, we will have an instant replay show for you from 6 to 7. But coming up next, we have part 2 of our Sports Six-Pack. So get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Part 2 of the Six-Pack is next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I have a question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, let's continue our Sports Six-Pack here on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh.
Question number 4.
All right, need your honesty here, Anthony, because I know you're going to be the one answering this.
Okay.
From the 636, this is not to be seen as a negative comment.
Okay.
But can we, the listeners, get more news, thoughts, and updates on St. Louis City? I feel like you guys never talk about them, but maybe it's because you guys aren't experts in the MLS, which I totally understand, because people will be critical.
Wow, that is great factual
you nailed
text.
Do you want? All right, let's just be real. Let's just be honest about this. All right, let's just be honest about this. No, I'm dead serious.
Okay.
And Jamie, Carey, I'd love your thoughts on this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
We have gotten, and this is a measured question, by the way. So whoever texts us in, we appreciate kind of the almost this respectful nature here. There's a respectful question.
Question is very respectful.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We have received questions before about St. Louis City. Why don't you guys talk more St. Louis City? Mm-hmm. We have tried to talk it, and there is this backlash from people, and rightfully so, that are basically like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. We don't know what to do. You want more soccer coverage, but as soon as we deliver our soccer coverage, it is met with keep soccer out your fast lane mouth. Keep my soccer out your fast lane mouth. So it becomes this, okay, well, why don't we just go ahead and talk Blues, Cardinals, and football then?
Yeah.
That is the honest answer to that. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I'll go one step further with it. Look, I coached soccer, little kid soccer. My daughter played soccer. They didn't have a coach, so they couldn't have a team. So I said, I'll coach soccer. Mm-hmm. All I did is implement everything I knew about hockey as far as practice, like the skills and whatnot. And we went on to have a good season, and the kids had a blast. I learned a little bit about soccer. I don't mind watching soccer. I learn something all the time. And, my daughter still plays soccer, and I still learn a little bit. But I'm going to be completely honest. I don't have the chops to sit there and break down St. Louis City SC soccer, whether it's strategies or setups and things like that. I don't have the knowledge to do with it. So we try to focus on things that we recognize, patterns of play, maybe stylistically what we're seeing. And not everybody, because can't include everybody, but then the soccer faithfuls get angry. Like, talk more soccer. Don't talk
Stop
soccer.
talking, you don't know.
But keep talking soccer.
Right.
So I can yell at you more for being an idiot. Well, you get that day in and day out. Well, why would you talk about it anymore?
Right.
One, you feel like, okay, you don't know soccer, so I'm not going to have an opinion on something that I maybe don't know 100%.
Right.
Even though there are things that we don't know about other sports that we have an opinion and we're wrong on.
Sure.
But it causes at least conversation. This, we're not allowed.
Right.
It feels weird. I joked about it at first, but it feels weird because you're trying to have an opinion, but when you have an opinion and you're told you're wrong, they basically shut up.
Right.
So
Right.
guess what we do?
Okay, no problem.
We
And
shut up.
And here's the other thing too. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but the amount of people that get turned off by any sort of soccer talk, not just our soccer talk, is a lot bigger than you think. So when we're doing show prep and we're trying to hand out the biggest piece of pie and where that's going on a given day, if we talk a lot more soccer, it is highly likely that we're pissing more people off than what's worth it.
And we get some suggestions here about having a player once a week. We did. We did. And we'll try to do that again in the future.
Yeah. And AB from the Snake Pit's like, hey, why don't you get a coach on? We also have to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
And if we don't know about the sport, we don't know it that well.
We had Bradley Carnell on. He was fantastic. He was awesome with us. He's no longer with the team anymore, but...
Plus, have you seen our style? Soccer fan is very serious about his and her sport. So
I think
we tend to get a little, we'll have fun and whatever. And I don't know if you want that.
I've said this before. You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
And so I generally don't try because somebody's going to be mad at you for something. And again, if you talk it, they're mad. If you don't talk it, they're mad. And so,
yeah.
And we joke about it, but we honestly don't want to insult the soccer fan either.
I love soccer. I played soccer growing up.
Played soccer too.
One of the best sports for young athletes to prepare you for life. What happened?
Will be maybe a weekly hit from Messi or Ronaldo.
That now.
Get on it, Marsh.
Yeah.
We're efforting.
Go 5 minutes without laughing.
Let the rest of them know we're efforting.
Text the producers chat.
And Ronaldo.
We're efforting Messi and Ronaldo weekly.
Okay. And you know what? I tried to do the soccer notes where clearly I don't know what I'm watching, and I did it in the notes fashion. And
I did like those.
And I think some people liked it, and I think other people got really upset. And it's
They
like,
thought you guys were making a mockery of what they
you're
do.
making a mockery of it. And honestly, I was doing it from a person that was trying to learn soccer. But she said it was a lot of people were like, oh, you're making fun of us. You're making a mockery of the sport. Like, all right, no problem, man.
I listen.
I don't know what to say.
Somebody goes, yeah, y'all just stay in your lane.
Thank you. Yeah, amen. We're trying to. So, respectfully, that is the honest answer.
We're trying, man, and we'll try again sporadically.
Yeah.
636 says, we want you to talk more snow cones.
Here's the other reality, too. I had a very passionate take on a song that's awful. We got more responses on that today from the text line, from the Snake Pit, from our listeners than any other topic that we did today. So we try to keep it about sports and other things. Yeah.
Which, speaking of which,
I thought that was nice.
Marshy's poll has concluded.
Hey.
All right.
So far, the impressions on Marshy's poll, 6.2 thousand.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
379 votes. Here are the final results. 81% say yes, Mr. Brightside by the Killers is a banger. 19% said no. Anthony, you were one of those people.
I was.
That voted no and even commented
Trying to
on
sway
my
the
poll.
audience, too.
I didn't sway.
You tried.
No, I clearly I didn't.
You tried.
I just said that not even close. To quote our guy, Craig Berube. Not even close.
Not good enough. Not even close.
Yeah.
Brandon Kiley, he chimed in. We brought that up earlier in the show. When I posed the question on my poll on the internet.
You got any pictures of the poll? Because Lil Beehole wants to see those.
You can
photos.
go to @_MarshyMarsh_ on X, and you can see said poll. But Brandon Kiley said, "Who is saying no to this?" And I said, "Our own Anthony Stalter." He replied saying he can't possibly believe that.
Oh, he does.
I do with every fiber of my being. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. AB, by the way, I do want to respect. AB was, he's being respectful too with the soccer stuff. He's like, hey, I'd love to learn more about it. Like Jamie teaches hockey and Carey teaches football. I'd love to learn more about soccer. I don't know. So maybe we'll revisit it, having a coach on or something like that, and we'll.
But I wonder, like, if we got a.
Gator's absolutely right. That song is no banger. Thank you, Gator.
If we got a college coach on or a high school coach, like, does that satisfy it?
Right. Probably not.
Because people are like, who the hell is this guy? He only coaches high school.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe he's an amazing teacher of the game.
Yeah. Right.
I'm open to suggestion.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Team's got to be pretty good, though, this year for us to talk about them. Like, let's be honest. Year one, we talked about them a lot. Year two, pretty hard to talk about a team that was mid, but not even mid.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, what are we going to talk about all summer?
Oh, Marshy. That was a low blow.
Wow.
We had just said some positive things about the baseball team.
Yeah.
Well, who said I was talking about them?
All summer?
Kind of implied it.
Crap. Margie, you said, what are we going to talk about in St. Louis? Like, but you said summer.
Yeah, like...
The only other thing that I know what's going on in summertime here in St. Louis is snow cones.
Yeah.
And
what about
nobody likes
Battlehawks
those.
football happening?
Yeah, that's true. But they're not mediocre.
That's spring.
That's a winning team.
The Blues.
Spring football.
Let's hope the Blues are playing in the summer.
Yep.
Well, spring, be fine. Summer might be a stretch.
Dodgers baseball.
You want honesty on this show? I'm going to give you freaking honesty.
All right, fair enough.
Proud of you.
Proud of you. All right, we have criticisms and compliments, what we learned.
I thought we just had a whole bunch of those.
We did just have some criticisms.
We kind of did that. Yeah, that's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and let me tell you about Window Nation. If you are struggling with keeping that hot air in and getting the cold air out of your home, you probably need new windows from Window Nation. And right now, they are offering 60% off of all window styles, plus you will pay nothing with no interest for 2 full years. That's right, nothing with no interest for 2 full years. You can get a free, no obligation quote today. All you need to do is dial 866-90-NATION or visit them online at windownation.com. They can install that window in 1 day or less. Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty. They are experts. All they do is windows, and they installed over 200,000 windows last year alone, 96% of them requiring no follow-up service. So give them a call today, 866-90-NATION or online at windownation.com. That's 60% off of all window styles. That includes double hung, bays, bows, picture windows, everything. You pay nothing with no interest for 2 full years, 866-90-NATION or online at windownation.com.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast. Available at 101ESPN.com and your 101 ESPN Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's mobile app. All the podcasts brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. I'm watching you.
What'd I do?
What happened? What I miss?
No, you didn't miss anything yet. It's coming up.
You didn't need to tell me.
I didn't tell you anything. I said something
Don't
about
worry, Carey.
about
Whatever
soccer.
it is, it's about to come out here.
I was asking Marcy's opinion on the soccer segment for tomorrow.
Okay. Carey, what did you learn today?
Oh, I learned not to fall asleep at Canadian sleepovers.
Well said. Well said.
Wow. Hockey Canadian sleepovers. Don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Hockey players.
Yeah. There's some stuff going on.
I'll stay up all night.
Yep.
It's not a bad idea.
Want a dog attacking me. Or at least thinking it's attacking me.
You might like it.
I don't think so.
Jamie, what'd you learn today?
I learned that your choice in music is questionable today.
Marshy, what'd you learn?
I learned that. Man, I learned that the Gridiron Guys podcast is not a Ravens podcast.
It's not.
No.
It is not.
Confusing as it may be.
Yeah, I was under the assumption.
Carey saves
Thank
his...
God for Anthony.
Thank you.
What?
Carey saves his Ravens love for the fast lane.
Because you got to have some balance.
This is sick, man.
Yeah. Don't I know it?
Carey's going to get invited to their next Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Sick.
Carey Davis. Season ticket holder, Carey Davis.
I won't be going.
You know, BT has the green seats at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, he's got the purple seats.
Yeah, the purple seats.
Here we go, Ravens.
Going
What
to
is their song, Carey?
I have no clue.
Oh, you know.
You know it.
I don't know.
Come on.
What I learned is that the Bills absolutely will be losing the AFC Championship game this weekend because their rallying song is one of the worst in ever, Bob. Also learned that Carey Marsh and some of our listeners clearly deaf in both ears.
Wow.
Probably should get that checked out.
I didn't even know the song.
Right?
Did you call Jamie Carey again?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He said Carey and Marsh. Clearly
What I learned, take two, what I learned is that Jamie and Marsh, several of our listeners,
I don't know why you try and act like that's an insult calling me
are
Carey.
deaf.
It's not.
It's not an
It's
insult.
not. It's a compliment.
It's just confusing.
It's a compliment.
I mean,
I'll take it.
We do look like one another.
It could be very confusing.
Yeah.
Marshy?
3 stars of the day. Our third star of the day goes out to respectful soccer fans.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Second star goes to, I mean, this guy, anytime he's brought up, he's got to be a star. Gift Smith.
Gift Smith. Yes.
Love him. Yes. First star of the day, Mr. Brightside.
Yes, I'm Mr. Brightside.
No, I don't know the song.
Sing it, Anthony. Go.
If you did, you'd hate it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll sing it for you.
That doesn't sound like it.
And just repeat that for 3 minutes.
How do you know it's 3 minutes? Someone listens to the end.
He did.
It's probably 3 minutes.
Wow.
I hate that song.
First song he's playing when he gets in the car.
A banger.
It's going to be in his head all night.
A banger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a banger, Anthony.
All right. For Carey Davis and for me, Anthony Stalter, we will see you.